Welcome back to the Brothers Woods podcast. We're here to talk about Stranger Things Season 2, and it was awesome. We got a couple of new guests. Well, we got a returning guest, my boy Tyler King.
What? Now my full name's on the internet.
Got my True. We can edit that.
Tyler.
Well, now my full name's on the internet again, Jared. Thanks.
The real full name.
Yeah.
Obviously myself, Josh, my brother Jared, and our new guest, David.
I know you
The
can't
killer.
pronounce my last name.
I can't pronounce
Bowman.
his last name.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
sorry. Did you not that? We can bleep that out too.
I mean, if we
David,
got to, we
yeah.
can.
I'm not going to do that. That's extra work.
So yeah, we're here to talk about Stranger Things Season 2. Give our first little quickie review, and then we'll kind of go into spoilers. So when we get there, if you don't want to get spoiled, don't listen anymore. So what'd you think, Tyler?
I loved it. Well, it's Stranger Things, so I definitely loved it. Like, it was perfect in every single way, except for, like, extraneous characters here and there.
Okay.
9 out of 10.
Great.
9 out of 10.
Better than season 1?
I roughly remember season 1. It's been a long time since I
Yeah,
watched
me
it.
too.
But I will say, season 1 was a strain. Like, from the first time I watched it, like, it took me, like, a week and a half to get through
Oh, wow.
Stranger
Oh,
Things.
God.
Yeah, because it was
I
just
not
like,
like that at all.
I blew
I was
through that
like,
shit.
Dude, you
I
have
was-
a lot of discipline.
well, it's just like the first or second episode, and I was like, all right. And then I keep like missing days and stuff. And finally I got to like halfway through and I was like, oh, okay, I need to watch this. And then I finished it and I was like, I need to rewatch this. And then I never did that.
I feel that. That's how I was with True Detective. I watched the first episode, and it didn't click, so I just didn't watch it. And then a month later, I just watched all 8 episodes in like one go. I remember because like Margaret was here. She like walked in. She was like, "Have you done anything today?" And it was like,
You have
well,
accomplished
it was,
a
like,
lot,
midnight, and
actually.
I was like, I watched the whole show. Almost.
Watch one of the greatest
You could
television
leave, I
shows
could
in
watch-
history.
You could watch the rest of it.
Definitely is. Highly recommend
True
True Detective Season 1. Super awesome. Have you seen that shit?
The only
No,
season
I'm
of True
not.
Detective.
So good.
Anyways, Stranger Things.
Your opinion, David.
I loved it. I like how, I mean, I guess it's the only way I perceive it. Obviously, there's going to be a season 3. At least there is to me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
when it ends.
They've already signed all that.
I think they're
Are
gonna
they
have
really?
4 at least.
And on the note of Stranger Things, they got like a Behind or Beyond Stranger Things on Netflix.
Yeah.
I've yet to watch, but I've heard it's very good too.
I watched about half of
To
it.
get like a better.
I
insight on
watched most of
everybody.
them. I think I didn't see
What
like
is
the
it?
last
Is it just
one.
like
It's
talking
like,
to the
yeah, it's like
actors?
Talking Dead.
Yeah.
It's like
got,
Talking Dead,
it's got-
but with Jim Rash instead of Chris
and
Hardwick.
It's got like, wait, is it for all of them? I only saw like one little
It's
thing.
it's like they I don't know how many episodes of it there are. I don't think there's like one for each episode,
Oh, so
but
it's
there's
just
more than 3.
Oh, okay. I thought it
and-
was just that one little like 20-minute thing.
There's more. They're like episodes, and then but they shot all of them at once. Because
Okay.
like he keeps making jokes about it. He's like, yeah, I'm still wearing the same fucking thing because like I've been here for 5 fucking hours doing this. It's like, here's the kids again, and the kids are like, we're back to.
I love
So
Jim Rash.
it's the same people and everything though, like same like the actors.
They switch the actors out each
Oh,
time.
okay,
Like
so
it's
that's cool.
the actors are like just they're all there at that time, but it's like you
It's
3
like,
are filming right now, and then we're gonna rotate out, and Jim's gonna be back, and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
I saw half the first one and it had 11 and Mike.
Mhm.
And it was pretty good. I wanted to keep watching, but something happened. I think Destiny 2 came out.
That'll put a hurt on everything.
Social life down the drain.
For me, I fucking loved it. Better than season 1? Certainly on par with it. Definitely, except for maybe one kind of. I don't know. I didn't mind that one thing either.
Well,
Definitely on par. We'll get into that.
I mean, I think the real question is, was it stranger than season 1?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually,
Well, then I think it succeeded. I think it did as what it did
Yes.
as a sequel.
for sure. It was definitely bigger, better, and I loved it just as fucking much. 9.5 out of 10 for me. Jared.
Yeah, awesome. Same as season 1. Very good. 10 out of 10.
Ooh.
Get outta here.
Ooh. As
I
we
loved
all
it.
know, those are one of Jared's solid, never changing
No, actually 9.8 out of 10.
ratings.
30 out of 29. Come on.
What are you going to give it,
Okay.
David?
You know how there's a group and it's like everybody scores it high, and then one's like, "Yeah, I'll give it a 3."
He's like,
It was good.
Well, today's not that day.
I'd give it a 9. I mean, I loved it. There's just there's everything about it's good. You know.
Hell yeah.
it
Hell
does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's like a homage to like the classics,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's not cheesy, even though it probably should be.
Which I hear for season, I was just watching a thing today for season 3, because the kids are growing up. Obviously, like this always happens in anything where you got kid actors. the kids kind of grow up faster than the show. And they were talking about like maybe for season 3 they might like skip a couple years before the next one, and so they might kind of start pushing into like the late 80s, early 90s, and then they can bring in things like Terminator 2 and shit like that.
That'd probably be a good idea because otherwise it's like a yearly thing.
Yeah.
The Bryce family's
But then
get
they
fucked
just-
up.
I was like, I'm pretty sure at least
fucked up.
one of those kids is like 16. Yeah,
In
the
real
kid that
life?
plays Lucas, he's like 16.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Really? He looks so
think
young.
Yeah, I'm pretty
does.
sure he's like. I mean, we can always check it. Wikipedia
Yeah.
exists.
So I kind of hope they do though, because that'd be cool. Because like Jared was saying, we were talking about earlier today, man. Like if they did it like a yearly thing, it would be like, okay, so every year on Halloween, this kid gets fucked up, or this town gets fucked up, and so they probably should skip a little time,
Yeah.
or at least do it at different times. That's what I think. Another thing I want
And
to
it
ask.
would definitely make sense with like what would be happening in the Upside Down too. Like more time would definitely see like better plots, like plans and things coming out of there.
Yeah,
For sure.
It seems to only get stronger
Mhm.
as it progresses. So.
A crazy thing.
Spoiler.
Well, we haven't gotten into that just yet.
Cut that
Josh.
part. One thing I do want to talk about. David got a loot crate for this shit, bro.
Oh, yeah.
What did you get in
I haven't
that
received it yet.
You haven't got your loot crate? What the
oh,
fuck?
Okay, so here it is. I ordered the first one. Like,
Hold on.
3
Lucas
months.
is 16. Go ahead.
Okay.
Fact check.
So I ordered it like 3 months before it. It's like, yeah, we'll be sending it to you. Stranger Things time, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So I get another email a few days before Stranger Things comes out. It says, hey, you'll be getting it mid-November. So, yeah.
And you're going to like it.
After all the hype for Stranger Things has died down, I'll be getting a crate for it. I can't wait to get it. I'm excited.
Yeah, fuck, man, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like, some cool
I was
shit.
excited to see what you got in it, too.
Yeah, I'll
Like, I was
definitely-
literally saving it for the pod. I was like, I'm going to ask him. I was like, I'm going to wait till we're on the podcast. I thought you had already got
Right now, it's just a crate.
Yeah, fucking.
That much is
It's
guaranted.
the potential.
Maybe
yeah,
a shirt.
my
'cause
girlfriend's
they
at
asked my
some
shirt
party or
size.
something. Or I don't know if she went to it or someone she knew went to it and they grabbed. Oh yeah, somebody grabbed her a T-shirt because they went to like a premiere party and it's got like the 2 and it's just upside down too,
awesome.
and then the back just says Stranger Things. It looks really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
Stranger Things is lit. Anyways, that's probably going to be it for the quickie review. So we're going to be moving into plot details and spoilers and shit. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you should turn this shit off.
Mine.
Before you go, however, we need to grow. So if you like this, you should like this and share it and shit like that. You should
Put out
do
a
that.
put out a reblog. Do a retweet.
Yeah, retweet or something. I don't know how these people do these things. You
Force
should
your
share
friends to listen to it. Lock your car, drive about 60 so they can't hop out, and then just press play.
There you go. Exactly.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.
Smash that motherfucking like button.
But anyways, so moving on into the juice.
OJ's
Anything
here?
you want to talk about spoiler wise? Because now we are in the spoiler section.
Bob died. Bob died hard. Bob died grisly, and Bob died violent.
Totally called that.
Oh, God.
I was reading that apparently he was supposed to die off earlier.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They
But
just
they
love
enjoyed-
Sean Astin so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you got Sean
enjoyed his
Astin.
character.
He's a charming motherfucker.
I think they talk about that in the thing we were.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of cheating because I watched all of those and I'm like, I have all that extra
that's
ass
good.
shit to
That's
talk
more
about.
knowledge.
It
you
was
got
like
to tell
Bob
me.
was like ready to come out. You're just like, I'm ready for the spoiler part. Bob.
Bob, fucking
The
Bob.
brain.
I totally
And
call that
the whole
shit,
Bob
man.
the Brain thing. That was a whole that wasn't in the script or anything either, was it?
That,
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's what they
no.
were saying in
That
the-
was just
in the
Sean
after
Astin
show,
being
yeah.
like,
it wasn't really there, and they were like, let's add more in because Sean Astin's,
It's making him a full fucking character.
Yeah, let's make him
and
a full character so we can kill him
flush
off.
him out.
Because we definitely know he's going to die.
Well, it's like he has to die, so.
I was telling Jared, I was like, once I found out he was in there and Jared started watching, I was like, he's 100% going to die. And Jared was like, oh, I don't know.
I had
I
my
was
hopes.
like, he's definitely dying.
I had my hopes he wouldn't die, and then he did that thing after he escapes from the one dog, and then he like smiles in slow motion. I'm like, all right, never mind. I ain't even gotta watch.
He
Well, I
drops,
mean, I
like, a
knew-
broom or something.
I'm not 100% on it, but I think when I started watching it, like the first episode, I was like, oh, Sean Astin, too famous to live.
Too famous?
Too famous to live.
But Winona Ryder's in this as a
Well, Winona
character.
Ryder's a main character.
Yeah.
And Winona Ryder is Winona Ryder right now, not Winona Ryder in the 80s.
I mean, you're true, but
Stranger
she's not
Things
really doing
brought
anything.
Winona Ryder back.
I mean,
for the
she
most
did
part.
Star Trek. Remember that? She was the mom. She was Spock's mom.
Okay.
I did once you said that, but that's kind of the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started with the first episode. The kids are back.
It's them like processing their normal fucking life that they can,
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Will's having flashbacks.
So, yeah, it starts off first off with this new character, Kali. We don't know
Opening
shit about
scene.
opening
Oh
scene.
yeah.
And You know, they kill some fucking random guy, which I mean, obviously we find out later is not necessarily a random guy, but just she's part of the system.
The
West
labs.
She's like 11.
Yeah.
She's 008, and she's got cool powers too. Not as cool as 11's. She's
I like hers a lot.
I like hers a lot. but
Hers are
are
like Doctor Strange's kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
hers
she
are-
can make people see anything.
Yeah, which that shit was hilarious.
that'll fuck
Oh,
you
we
up.
can't get into that.
That'll fuck you up a
Let's
lot.
reference every other movie.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So we get her. She fucks some people up, man. Does her thing. We won't see her again until episode 7, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I guess. If people like that or what they think about that.
I mean, the one
That
filler episode in
Yeah.
a 9-episode show.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they gave us an extra episode, so it was just.
It was good. It was good character development.
Yeah.
You didn't like it? I thought I liked.
I liked it.
I like
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic Chicago.
I did like the. Well, I mean, it's not really
That's
post.
just Chicago.
That's just regular Chicago.
Regular
man.
Chicago.
That was literally just like Skid Row. Like
That's
that was
just
it.
80s
That was
Chicago.
Chicago on a nice day.
That's Warriors.
Yeah, that was. It's kind of confusing.
But then we come back to the Hawkins and the kids, man, are getting some shit together to go to the arcade.
You got fucking Dragon's Den or whatever.
They're
the fuck
playing
it's called.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's
Yeah,
Lair. That
right,
one.
like all the like callbacks. They got the Dig Dug and shit like that, and they find out someone named Mad Max stole their high records, and Keith is a fucking creep.
Fucking.
Is that the arcade guy's name?
He wants.
Sorry.
He wants
Something.
Nancy, dog.
He really wants
Nancy.
a date with Nancy.
Bruh.
Mike's not doing it.
That dude's a creep. He's like,
It's
eating
acne.
his fucking
It's not a
Cheetos and
rash.
shit. Oh man. Will has like another episode, or has his first little episode. We see that Will, he's back. He's in doing this thing, but something ain't right with Will. He's having like visions of the Upside Down, and it's freaking him the fuck out.
Yeah, I thought that was really fucking cool when that started fucking happening because I was like, now it's like legitimately like that's scary. Like that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I forgot how he worded it. He said like part of him is still there. He's like half there, half where
I
he
think
is.
he just like disappears out of the real world and goes into the Upside Down briefly or something.
Yeah.
No.
Because he seems
He's
to
still
just
there.
disappear.
No, it's well, I mean, he's a kid.
Well,
and
it's
he's
technically
sprinting
the
off
Upside
and
Down is
hiding.
in the same space.
It's
It's like another
parallel, yeah.
dimension kind of thing. I think.
From what I got, it's him, and he's just seeing into it, and he's still physically in the real world, and so he's not interacting because it's exactly the same. Like he's not going to be running into shit and like not seeing where he's going and stuff.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I just thought because no one can ever keep track of him, so I thought
Well,
maybe like he
yeah, that's what it says. Like he just
They- well,
sprints off.
They were distracted by the game at that point.
Yeah, every single time he's like disappears and they have to go find him, it's because
they walk away and
yeah,
they're
they're
bad
doing
friends. I got
something
you.
because they don't expect it to happen because that's
Don't
how.
have shitty
You don't
friends.
expect
how
your
that
friend.
works.
You're all at the movie theaters watching the movie, and you're like, yeah, and the fucking third guy just gets up and walks off.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? We also get introduced to our new human villain, Billy, coming through. That dude is a fucking dick.
That dude's a
Kinda-
tool.
I
He's
kind of
unnecessary.
like this character a lot at the same time, though. Like,
He can fight
I mean,
them.
he's definitely like 100% like stereotypical like 80s bully asshole motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
we
just
needed
completely.
that guy.
I don't think it's unnecessary
I
because they were
needed
because
that
they were like,
guy.
well, we wanted a human evil, a human villain.
Well-
It's like well, you didn't need that though. You have doctors and
They kinda showed
scientists
why
and
he was
like,
like that,
the
though.
government. I mean, that's then just justifying where it came from doesn't make it
Yeah.
like fine.
They did a really good job at that, though. I think the whole time he's like, say it, whenever he's talking to
Yeah,
Mad Max or
Max.
whatever, and then it shows Dad do the same thing to him,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
at the end, Mad Max does that to Billy, and I was like, this
Slippery
whole family
slope.
is fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that
Psychopaths.
goes. It's called a cycle.
let's see what else. Bob we get introduced to, which we kind of started talking to. Bob gets introduced. He's dating Joyce. He's a stereotypical nerd working at Radio
He is a
Shack,
nerd.
getting the high school prom queen. 30 years later,
Fucking
or 20
he
years
owns
later.
it. Everyone instantaneously falls in love with Bob, but while also being completely aware that he might be completely evil. Because I was pretty sure that Bob was evil like the entire time.
Well, I mean, he does kind of tell, like in the second episode or whatever, he tells Will, like, yeah, just accept the evil, man.
Yeah, just
Or he doesn't
stare
accept
at
it, but he tells him to stare and turn it down, but then he obviously does that, and then
You know,
it's fucked.
What if
Fucked
Bob?
up.
What if Bob would have been like a vision, like a shared vision between everybody? And then at the end, it was like Bob's not real. You guys
Stop.
like Mad Max comes in, he's like, "Who you guys talking to?
Bob. Who's
Who the
Bob?
fuck is Bob?"
Or like fucking, at first I thought he was working for the lab. And that like they had like planted him
That
to
makes sense.
date Joyce and like keep an eye on them. And that's why he was so pushy about it and always wanting to see him all the time. But it turns out he was just genuinely
just a
like
good
a
guy
nice
who wanted
person.
to-
He's just a
Yeah,
good guy.
man. Just a good dude. We got Nancy freaking out about Barb's deaths. Her and this is weird too. Nancy and Steve are going to have regular dinners with Barb's family.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like Nancy's like really on top of her shit, and like, cause like she does feel responsible for it, for like ditching Barb out there by herself. And that's kind of why she got caught off by the Demogorgon.
True.
So, I mean, you know, she just wants to be there for her parents because she can't tell them the truth or else she'll go to jail.
There's so many episodes of her like talking about how everybody's just acting like it didn't happen to Barbara and how she feels
And that's
guilty
true.
as hell about it.
Yeah, like, cause it seems like they're just like, yeah, just forget about it. It just fucking happened. It's like, okay, well, you know, her best friend just got like fucking murked, so maybe take a little time.
Barb's death from season 1 is the whole reason I knew Bob was 100% going to die.
Oh yeah.
It was because they set the tone in season 1 that people can die in this show. Like, it may not be like, you know, Game of Thrones prevalent, but definitely someone can die.
I actually
Plus,
thought Will would die.
Barb and Bob, very close. You thought Will was going to die?
I
Like
thought
season
Will would
1?
die. No, season
Both
2.
redheads?
Oh, I definitely thought Will, yeah. Well,
I thought Will was
might have
done.
been gone, bro.
That's the
Yeah.
pattern. We
That's
cracked
the
it,
pattern.
Jay.
We got it.
cracked
Was Bob a
It-
redhead?
Sean Astin's redhead, right?
I don't think so.
He wasn't.
Okay.
Well, we could still go with it
I'm
because it doesn't really
colorblind, so
matter.
just roll with it and pretend.
I mean, I am too, but I still notice red hair.
And into the first episode, Eleven's
Are you
alive.
sure that-
Oh, yep.
She's at a cabin with Hopper in the woods. I told Jared about this. Well, never mind. I don't know if I'm gonna bring that up. The whole dynamic between 11 and Hopper I really liked, but at the same time, it seemed a little like
it
weird
was
to me.
it was adorable in moments, but it was also like it's
Kinda
pretty
creepy.
clearly. It's not. I mean, when you
I
understand
disagree.
Hopper, yeah, it's definitely
I
a
disagree.
father-daughter like relationship. Like he's pretty clear
Isn't
about
his
that.
daughter dead?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
died.
That's why he like.
Yeah,
wants
so
to
it's
take care
like
of
you
her,
can
though.
see him doing it as like a real like coping mechanism and not him really like thinking about it and like seeing it from her and like wanting
Yeah.
to take care of her.
I was thinking of it as a like a father daughter thing, but it shows that what's his name is not exactly doing that well as a father.
Yeah,
to
he's
her.
fucked up. He's still
like-
fucked up.
Yeah, he's fucking up. But Josh said that he thought it was creepy, and I was like, I didn't get that
Well,
vibe at all.
I mean, if you watch some show where like if it's like a predator situation, like it seemed very like I'm protecting you for you, yeah.
he
like, it
is
seemed
though. Like,
I mean,
I
you,
know, but
you
it
know
just
that
seemed
though.
really
you know who
weird.
Hopper is.
Imagine
though.
trying to mess with 11.
That's true.
Let's put that.
But at the
in
same
perspective.
time, their dynamic was explained because of his daughter thing. Which, by the way, fan theories out there think that 11 might be his actual daughter.
That's not true at all.
How
I
do you
don't
know
think
that?
so.
How you know that, Tom?
It doesn't make any sense.
that doesn't really work. In the,
Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure since he met that fucking lady and knows about her, we'd be like, oh, yeah, it's my ex-wife. You're my daughter. Like, I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true.
Like, she went, oh, I went to
could
go
be a reason
visit
he's
my
trying to hide
mother,
it,
who's
though. I
this
don't know.
specific woman. This specific
went
woman
crazy.
gave birth to me that you've met face to face. Oh, fuck, I totally forgot. You're my kid.
I guess you could be right on that.
I guess it didn't happen.
I mean, you know, maybe it's.
You
I
and your
don't know.
fucking fan theories,
You're-
Josh.
you're right.
We already had this
You're right.
conversation. I ripped it apart last time. I'm going to do it again this time.
Yeah, you're right. I'm wrong. Sorry.
Well, I mean,
So
we're
we start
both
off-
right, respectively.
See-
in different
Sorry.
ways.
I'm sorry, man. We started season 2 with flashbacks with 11. I mean, episode 2 with flashbacks with 11, showing about what happened with her. How does she kill the Demogorgon? We got put back in Upside Down, and then got her way back out of the Upside Down. Went to see Mike, but Mike's, all the fucking scientists and shit were around, so she's wandered through the woods. What about her when she took out that fucking hunter? Whatever happened to the hunter? That's what I want.
She knocked him out. I just felt like she knocked him out, and then he woke up and was like, well, what the fuck? And probably was one of the people that talked
that's-
to
talked about the
that
Russian
guy,
shit.
talked about the
Ooh,
Russian
yeah,
girl,
yeah.
yeah.
He was probably very cold when he woke up.
Right.
But I mean, he had that big ass fucking fleece thing on. Like, I felt like he was, cause I really questioned, I was like, damn, like she could have straight up just killed him and just left him to die out there. But I feel like he just woke up without a jacket was all.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. We don't.
I
Really
mean,
know.
she was also out there and in a lot less than him and out there for a lot longer probably.
Yeah. Continue the flashback. Hopper and them find each other. They do their little cabin thing, fix up the cabin.
Is that when all the plants are dying? The pumpkins and stuff?
It's about to be. This starts here. Yeah.
That's still like, let's put like, it's like a couple months later. like a month or so
this
later.
is a flashback.
Yeah. Like just
but,
to like,
but this in this
give it
episode
some
right
time.
after this is when so the pumpkin patches are starting to die around town. Shit's starting to rot out, and Hopper's on the case. Starting episode 2, and some crazy shit's going on with that. This is where you start to realize like some shit's happening. Well, I guess that and the fact that Will's having fucking visions and shit like that.
And the show was made at all.
I mean, that's also very true. Jared, do you have any input here?
Sorry, no, I was thinking about something else.
Oh, what's keeping your mind
I
occupied?
was
Jared?
thinking about how I can get Josh to get closer to the mic. Maybe like tie him to the mic.
I'm in the mic.
I got my nose roll
11,
where I make sure I make the tip of my nose touch the pop filter.
11
at the top of the
wants to
plastic
go
part.
trick or treating. Hopper says no.
Every time you looked at me, I was like, I like zoomed into the mic, like get closer.
Just say it, Jared.
Yeah. All right.
Or mime.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick. He
Nancy
wouldn't pick it up. Go ahead.
Nancy wants to tell Barb's parents because Barb's parents are selling their fucking house so they can hire an investigator to find Barb. So Nancy's freaking out. She's having internal grief situations, and she wants to tell her parents. And Steve's like, "No, we shouldn't do that." By the way, I fucking love Steve.
Steve Harrington this fucking season is a hero.
I forgot that he was like the villain of last season.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit last
I
season.
forgot that he was
That's what you call
beating up kids and shit last season.
fucking character development.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
He's a mom.
I mean, he started off as the
He
villain.
literally
but then
became a mom. Yeah.
Steve now has 5 kids.
Steve, his relationship, I don't remember exactly what episode. We'll kind of get that.
With Dustin?
With Dustin is fantastic, man. I fucking
Dude,
love that
the
shit.
last episode, what he does for Dustin.
Oh,
It's fucking amazing. I mean,
so funny.
let's be fair. It gives him the stupidest fucking advice on the planet, but best like brother duo
Listen,
ever.
He gave him the confidence of,
Hey.
Except for the Woods brothers.
Yeah,
I don't know if
good.
he gave him the stupidest in regards to Mad Max, but probably not to like
Well, yeah.
in general.
I mean, yes, he helped him kill things. They did good job there.
yeah. Nancy also, she's like I said, so she's freaking out. Steve convinces her to go to a Halloween party. They go to a Halloween party, and Nancy gets fucked.
Yeah.
She's lit.
Nancy is.
She is.
Missing
She's
the
the
fuck out of
originator of
Barbara.
getting white girl wasted.
She's-
She's the white girl. She was the first
She's
white
the
girl.
white girl wasted.
She's the first white girl that got wasted because that's how old these things are.
And she goes
Centuries
off on Steve.
ago in the 80s.
She says that, basically, what does she say? That everything's like a mirage. Everything's
Yeah,
fake.
something
Everybody's
like that. He's
something
fake.
about them hiding Barbara and their love is.
No, she's like,
their love
Bullshit.
is fake.
bullshit.
She basically
You're
does what
bullshit.
any drunk female does. Just goes off on the whole world.
It's just, you get drunk and the truth comes out.
I don't love you.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Turns out,
Oh man, he was so hurt by that.
He really was.
turns out you're just as shitty as everybody else,
Well,
and
'cause
I'm tired of it.
Steve is like dealing with some like insecurity shit too right now because like he
Oh,
can't
he's
like
worried
get into
about-
college or something. I
He's
don't-
worried about the other guy as well. I
Yeah,
think.
Jonathan, who he knows is like has some sort of effect on her. He can't get into like college or something like that. Something at the beginning like where he couldn't get into college.
He was writing up an early acceptance letter, to try and apply early. And she was Grady, and he compared his grandfather's success in World War II to him winning a basketball game,
That's true.
and how they were the same.
I think in season 3 he might become like Hopper's like deputy kind of.
Oh,
Well,
that'd be
he
cool.
said he would work as his dad's business.
Well,
So
I
I
mean,
think
I know-
if they do go further in the future, he'll probably just be he'll be able to help them the most from the adult standpoint because
Yeah.
he'll have a job. and shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Similar in vein to what you're saying, but I just don't see him being a cop.
You don't
I
think
see him
so?
getting along with Hopper really well.
I could.
David's going portable.
There goes one of the mics. Hold on.
Anyways, coming back, the kids are going Halloween trick or treating and shit. Max has showed up. Dustin and Lucas are like, hell yeah.
They got a crush on her.
They're all Ghostbusters.
Hell yeah.
Fucking Mike.
To,
Mike's not fucking having it.
Mike is not. He
Mike-
ain't been having it the whole beginning of the season.
Mike despises
He's
Mike.
pissed about 11.
Mike's
not
being a
being
little
there.
punk.
I
little bitch.
think his hatred's from him missing 11, and he's like,
Yeah.
he sees her bonding with the other people, and he's like envious.
Well, he's
He's
upset
image, but
because
also
he thinks
reminds him of
she'll.
11, I think.
Well, I think he thinks she's trying to replace.
Yeah,
Love.
Oh yeah. That's definitely
probably
what I
true
see.
too.
Well, the thing
That
is,
and then Mike seems like he's really stunted and growing just in being social and being everybody because it's you got to think about it. It's you as your kid your first love or whatever. It's not really the same thing, but he watched her disappear
True.
and she had
He-
superpowers
She had superpowers. She was really rad.
and he's a kid.
They have
So
a thing.
Everybody's first love is like
yeah,
that.
it's his
Yeah.
first love. Yeah, it's super crushing,
yeah.
And so he's freaking out. Here they're going trick or treating. Will has gets triggered and has another episode where he sees the
The
shadow
fucking
monster.
shitty kids.
Yeah, there's fucking.
Oh,
Fucking zombie boy. Jesus Christ. That's kids are Satan. I despise children. I really
I
fucking
was
hate
gonna
them.
be like, Zombie Boy though? Are they gonna do that? And then I thought it's the '80s. They definitely would.
It's the 80s,
Like-
and they're monsters.
and they're monsters.
Yeah.
Sociopathic little shits.
Yeah, I mean, kids are really shitty in general. Like, you see this shit all the time, like on the internet, man. Kids are really shitty.
And
It's
then
like,
fucking
they're little sociopaths.
but Bob gives him the JVC.
Yeah. They're recording it the whole time.
Yeah.
The Halloween experience.
So then that
That connects.
leads to Joyce believing him and
Yeah,
realizing
because she
that
sees
like
the, like through the, I guess, what happens when she sees like the,
you know how it
upside
always
down
is
or
with like,
whatever.
No, she sees like
analog
an
recording
image
and
in the
things.
back or something.
it's in the
Yeah.
negative of it. It's in the static
it's in
makes
the
up
static,
the
yeah.
static
She
makes up the
sees-
image.
She's like the shadow monster, and he's also been drawing these pictures of the shadow monster from his things. And so this is where she leads in and believes him there. You find out when this happens, Will tells Mike that he's having these episodes, and then Mike also tells Will that he's trying to contact Eleven every fucking night on the radio. And 11 also at the end of the same episode tries to contact Will and almost does. Like I think she's been doing that a lot too, but like he almost like hears her.
I think you mean Mike.
To Will or Mike?
Mike.
Mike. Did
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
Will?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Fucking
pretty
her
similar.
powers jump like expo fucking inchly in this
Right?
season. Like she goes from kind of finding people in a general area to like, oh, I've got a picture. And he's fucking in this room, in this building, in this city.
Yeah.
And
That-
she
True,
and she
but
could
remember
tell
that-
who else was in there.
Remember that one time when she killed like everybody in a building? Like she was just like, everybody in the school dies, and then they all died. Didn't that happen in the first season?
Well, yeah, it happened with the scientists. It wasn't school, but well, I mean, it might have been at the school, but it was like the scientists, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
military
she just
guys
killed
or something.
A bunch of people. at
Because
once.
she brings it up this season, like you forget, like
Like,
season
explodes
one.
their
or
brain.
that-
Well, when she's talking to what's
Collie.
her- yeah,
later.
she
Yeah.
asked if she killed anybody, and she said yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
like,
she's
I've
killed people,
too.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like don't be front on me, bitch. If you deserve it, you can die.
Well, it's it because that brings it up because then she takes her about like, take your anger and use it. It's like, oh, this is some real dark side shit.
Mhm.
And at the end, I thought she was gonna be like, I'll just use love, and I'll think about
She's
Mike
turning
and
into
I'll-
Kylo Ren, man.
yeah. But no, she just gets more angry, and I'm like, all right, it's straightforward. That's fair. Anger's okay.
At the end of episode 2, Dustin, who I fucking loved, finds D'Artagnan.
Dustin,
He also has teeth,
He has
that little
teeth now.
shit.
Oh, he has
Oh,
teeth
he's
now,
got
yeah.
those
and he makes that
pearls.
one noise. I cannot recreate it.
Can't do it either. That's so Dustin might be the best fucking character out of all of these people.
He's definitely the most entertaining kid, but I was so pissed at him this season. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
What
You
you
don't
mean?
bring trash can animals into your home.
Come on.
Come on, in the 80s they would have done that
True,
shit.
in
If
the
you found
80s.
that shit in the trash can.
Well,
in the 80s,
first of
had a
all,
kid.
any kid would have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
He had a
but
legitimate
especially
reason.
in the 80s.
Well, not he was thinking globally.
Yeah,
He was
he
like,
had a
I'm
better
gonna
reason
get,
than most kids.
I'm
yes.
gonna get a fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, no. First, he was like, "I'm gonna take this weird ass lizard, and Max is gonna like me because I
Which is-
have this weird ass lizard, and weird ass lizards are fucking rad."
Yeah.
And then that was everything he stole Steve, and Steve was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
She's like, what are you talking about, bro?
It's so dumb. But yeah, then after Max was the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. I mean, that was the kind of shit, I don't know, all kids, I mean, I remember when we were kids,
You know what
Jerry,
I
we
didn't
used to
like?
like collect like fucking centipedes and shit. You remember that? Not
No.
centipedes.
I've seen. I used to
collected
kids
rocks.
rock.
Caterpillars. No,
Yeah.
caterpillars, yo.
Bugs,
you like let
just
them
in general.
evolve into like moths or butterflies.
They
I
evolve,
Evolve into a moth.
evolve into a butterfly.
Evolution.
Metamorphosis, dog.
Metamorphosis.
Read
whatever.
some fucking Kafka. All right.
Caterpie is trying to evolve.
Caterpie is now whatever the other thing is. Butterfree.
Caterpie's now dead because it's been in a jar for a week and a
Yeah,
half.
that actually happened a lot. There was a lot of ones in there.
A lot of
There was
dead-
a lot of
lot of
dead
dead
ones.
caterpillars.
It's a trial and error, but with a life.
But we
This
got
is
some.
science, man. It's experimenting.
Episode 3 starts off Bob telling Will about his crazy fucking it story, where he tells him to stand up to the monster, and he does.
It's like not bad advice, except to
If it
Will.
was a
Except for this
normal
very
situation.
specific fucking situation.
Yeah.
Like I was like, no, Bob, that's not a bad story, except for who you're talking
Yeah.
to right,
Right
now.
now.
Bob tells about a reoccurring nightmare and a stand up for it. And then next time that he has his, he stands up to it and it goes very
gets
badly.
possessed.
He
literally
literally
gets
like
possessed.
overcomes his
Possessed,
body.
Yeah, like he's.
But hey, this is how we figure out that Will's actually just Stephen King. And he just writes a story based on that story.
True,
In
true.
Bob's memory.
Bob.
That's
You
my
can't
favorite.
hate on Bob for that shit though. Like, come on.
No, he was trying. He was trying his
They-
best.
They kept him in the dark. You can't hate on a person in the dark.
Well, that's what I'm saying is Bob wasn't in the wrong except because he was talking to Will. Like, he
just
didn't
right
know.
now.
Yeah.
Any other kid.
Any
told
other
him.
normal kid,
Yeah.
That would have been a great.
Because he even
stand
says
up
it.
to the bully.
When he's
Stand up
in the
to the bully,
hospital
yeah.
with him and he's like, this kind of shit just doesn't happen in Hawkins, especially not to you and especially not to a kid like Will.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah,
Don't
sorry,
stand
bro.
up to the shadow monster.
Always
Don't
run.
stand up.
It
Always
never
fucking
goes
run.
good.
Never
Just
never
keep
turn
running.
around. Always
He'll-
run.
He'll enter you.
Yeah.
He's
Nancy.
the Nightman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nancy convinces Jonathan to tell Barb's parents about Barb, and Jonathan being the what's the right way to put this? The more not Steve person,
Empathetic.
empathetic. There you go.
More
He's
emotional.
like, yeah, sure, yeah, we should do that. Even though it's probably not a good idea, but I like you a lot.
So I'm gonna help.
So I'm gonna help anyway.
I
How-
see that
Just
you
kind
care
of
about
goes
this.
with the flow.
Well, I mean, he also, he's aware, like he went through it with her.
Right.
So he knows kind of like the emotional weight of it all. He's like, they do deserve to know that like their daughter's dead and they can't find her and they need to process
To
that.
be clear, though, their plan is crazy, right?
Oh yeah, it's
It's to get captured, record what they're told while they're captured, and then go see a guy that they don't know who's like a
was that
conspiracy theorist.
see at first I thought that guy was who their parents were hiring because I don't know why I thought that, but that was the two
their
things
parents,
I put together.
Barb's parents were hiring that guy.
from what I learned was, and it's not in the actual show at all. It's only in the after show because that guy was, I think his name's Brad Gelman, the actor that played him. But that might be wrong. But fucking in the way that it goes, it's like he was actually like an investigative journalist in like the Washington Post or whatever. So he did do stories like that and was successful. But then because of some story that he did right, like eventually like just destroyed his life and like he lost his family because of it. And so then he moved to Hawkins for like a small town and not to really deal with it. And then he keeps finding out more about the Hawkins lab and stuff. And then
You're talking about the conspiracy.
yeah, he's not a
guy?
conspiracy theorist, sort of like he got to that point, but he was like a successful like investigative
Oh, okay,
journalist.
cool.
Yeah. And so what he's selling to them is like, he genuinely does believe that Barb's missing and not dead. And it's because of like these conspiracy type reasons. So that's why he helps them out. And that's why he's so good at helping out Nancy and Jonathan, because he's talking like a journalist.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't-
crazy intuitive.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't go like, "Oh, we're gonna release this shit and blow people away." He's like, "No, that's too strong.
Yeah, he's-
people won't believe you if you."
It's fucking ridiculous.
I
You
love
can't just
that-
open up like that.
We're kind of about to get there, but I loved it when him and Jonathan and Nancy were all in the same scene. And he was just like being
yeah.
super intuitive. It's like, are y'all gonna fuck yet?
So how long have y'all been dating?
yeah.
Or not dating?
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like his scenes with them were fantastic. Like, yeah, you can use.
He
my-
basically wingmans
Yeah.
for them. He's like, well, I got like one bed, there's another one across the way, but y'all can sleep together.
Fucking the next morning when he's like, that little egg drops. Oops.
I was really surprised he didn't like give them the bottle of vodka. Because he took
did.
it with him, but I thought he was just gonna be like, "You guys have a good night."
Oh no! He gave it to him when they left. the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
day.
but-
they gave him a brand
I'm
new
talking
one.
about that night. I'm surprised he wasn't just like, "Make a mistake."
Well, I mean, he also wants vodka.
True.
Yeah, dude loves some vodka, man. He might
It
be
is
extra
his
Russian.
vodka.
It
He
is
doesn't
his
have to give
Vodka
it to
equals
them.
into like you being brilliant.
Maybe he didn't want to be like, hey,
sure.
I'm gonna take this. Don't rape her.
He was getting
and
fucked
just go
up.
upstairs.
Like literally, they walk into him. He's like, "I need a drink." Like as soon as he sees them, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm
focusing. I have to think.
The thing.
Thinking.
It's like, no, this is all wrong. It's too
Yeah.
strong.
We have to
Water it down.
water it down.
Dustin, going back to episode 3 or whatever episode we're on, Dustin brings Dart to school to show the rest of the boys, the gang. They're like, oh, okay. Will's like, I'm pretty sure this is from the Upside Down, and I spit that bitch out last year.
Well, I don't think Will says that. I think it's like
Well,
We-
Will tells Mike. Mike
and
tells the
and
group.
then Mike.
Yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
Yeah. Mike says.
But in the same time, Dart escapes, and so the group is like going after, trying to find him. And
Dustin finds him and hides him
Dustin,
from the group.
This is the
God.
one part where Dustin kind of fucks up a little bit. Really.
Dustin lied, man.
Guys, friends
Lie.
don't lie.
They
Friends don't lie.
That's like
Dustin
the only
lied.
rule. They don't lie.
Yeah, that's the principal thing we were talking about earlier.
This is what happens when you grow teeth and get overconfident.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
You
Confidence
turn
is
into a
bad.
douchebag and start lying to your friends. That's what teeth do.
That's a pretty good rule
Don't do
for
teeth,
a
kids.
A group of kids. We got one rule. Don't lie.
Don't lie. Yeah, so he finds him. He does that scenario where he takes him home and hides him from them.
He feeds him nougat.
He feeds him nougat.
That's the thing that bothered me. He named him Dart, as in D'Artagnan.
D'Artagnan.
Why not name him Nougat? What an adorable name Nougat
Because
is.
it's Three Musketeers.
I know, but Nougat is a great name
Is it?
for a pet.
You should name your child that.
I will. Nougat Woods.
That should just be the nickname you have for Josh from now on.
Yeah, I'll name Josh Nougat.
Well,
Nougat.
nougat.
This is my brother Nougat.
You wouldn't like it? You would name a dog Nougat?
Maybe.
I would definitely name a dog Nougat.
It'd have to be a real poofy dog.
Yeah.
My dog nougat.
Well, D'Artagnan was
Nougat,
not
come here.
poopy.
Because he's just all airy and sweet.
I love it. That's a great name. I was so surprised that he was like, "You like Nougat? I think I'll call you
I mean, have you
D'Artagnan."
really
I was like,
seen these kids? Like, have you seen what these kids fucking like and what
I
they
mean,
talk
you're
about?
right.
They're nerd as fuck. That's not a nerd kid, like, pet name.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're
Nerd
Dungeons
kids
and
are
Dragons
like-
players.
Yeah,
We-
nerd kids
yeah.
are like, this is my cat, Einstein.
Yeah.
Here's my cat.
Yeah, that's what cool kids name their cats.
Then you got I got a monster, D'Artagnan.
Muse.
fucking Muse.
Wonderful cat.
Max confronts kind of Mike about why Mike's a little dick and doesn't want her in the party. They're doing a little arguing thing. 11 shows up because she's
Has
in a-
escaped previously.
escaped.
Already
Yeah.
scared the shit out of some kid and their
I
mom.
know, right? So she's escaped the little cabin thing, gone down. She finds Mike.
She sees Mike and Max, and she thinks they're like
Flirt?
bonding.
Yeah.
Like she gets mad jealous,
Yeah,
knocks her
that's
off her
bonding.
skateboard,
Yeah, this.
Bruh, she flips the bitch off the skateboard, yeah.
and then disappears. And Mike, like, he thinks he feels her, like he kind of knows when she's around, but he doesn't. You know, he doesn't see her.
Well, I feel like that's more of him just being like, how the fuck did
Well,
that
he
happen?
knows- he knows how she
that's
works, yeah.
possible. He knows that that's actually
She's-
possible.
She's the party's mage. What do you expect? You know?
Exactly. And then it's like, because he's not a normal person that goes like,
Oh, sorry.
oh, well,
What is the Zoomer?
She made it up. I assume it's because she rides a skateboard.
The
That's-
whole time I was like, I could be the party's Zoomer, and I was like,
She literally made that up.
what does that mean?
I guess she
you don't even
zooms on
play
her
Dungeons and
skateboard.
Dragons. You don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I
No,
mean,
no,
No, I
not
think
you. I'm
that's-
saying
oh,
she
okay.
don't.
I think
Like,
that's
what do you
kind of
mean?
We don't
point.
play, so maybe it's like actually a role, but I'm assuming
No,
it's
I
not
really
a
doubt
role.
it.
A zoomer.
I was like, what is that? Some
Like
big
she-
thing in the '80s, like a Zoomer?
Like she zooms on her skateboard.
That's how I saw it. Like just her
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
fucking driving
She
too.
says that she's a Zoomer. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't fucking listen to anything Max says.
Okay.
I mute the TV specifically
She's
while her or
unnecessary,
Billy
so
are
you
talking.
don't wanna
Yeah,
listen
they're
to her.
completely fucking unnecessary. I'm sorry, I stand
Get
by
outta
it.
here.
They don't need to be there.
Mad Max is a great character.
She is.
Yeah, she is. A lot of people didn't really like her because they thought she was like kind of replacing 11 in the group or whatever.
if they
I saw.
had introduced just Max, would have been fine.
Oh,
But
other than
that
not-
it's too much shit with like her and her
Really?
brother. Yeah, it's like these
I mean-
these fucking
Well, it
extra
shows why she's like
storylines.
angsty and stuff, you know.
Well, I mean,
And
she
then
could still
like
have,
the whole
shitty
plot with
parents.
him having issues with Jonathan and basically thinking Jonathan's like a pedophile almost because he's hanging out with little kids. I don't
Steve, you
know.
mean?
I felt like it was.
Steve.
Yeah, there you go, Steve. My bad.
Oh no, I think that was just him pushing him. He's like, "Oh, you're probably fucking little kids, huh? Isn't that what you're doing? You fucking Steve the King, fucking little kids, yeah."
Hey,
Damn.
Steve and this guy have a very big rivalry.
Right off the
It's
bat.
pretty
bro.
weird.
He like comes, he's like, Steve, I heard you're the king of the school. I'm about to be king. Let's fuck.
He's like,
Like,
Steve.
Well, see, because it's like everybody talks about that. Like, and I want David to talk right after me, but fucking's like everybody's like, "Oh, Billy's super gay and Billy's super racist," and it's like there's little to no evidence for either of those things like that. I think he's just an angsty little kid that's had the shit kicked out of him
Does
for the
seem kinda
majority of his
racist.
life.
Who?
It seems like it really, but it's all coincidence. Cause like Lucas just happens to be the only, cause Lucas is the only one that's really pushing
You're true,
for
yeah.
Max
I
and
just-
like
yeah.
really doing things.
I just
for
think he
Max.
doesn't want anybody messing with us. He doesn't want her happy, probably.
Yeah,
you know?
that's exactly. He's abusive. He doesn't want anyone
He blames
around
for
her.
them being there. He wants
You're
to be like
probably
in
right.
California.
He
Yeah.
did.
I
It
did
does
think he was.
imply
I mean,
racism, though.
I did think it was racist. I mean, but I think it's just a coincidence.
I
Like,
think
you don't
it's-
hang out with him. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
see,
whoa.
but again, because
I
you think
mean-
about it, it's like he's literally never seen those other kids before.
Yeah.
He's only
Yeah.
seen Lucas, and Lucas is the only one he's seen.
She's
her
like
around
sneaking out with
multiple
him and
times.
shit. So I mean, you can see where the issue is.
I got it.
Yeah, so that's definitely, and plus, like, my black friend said it wasn't racist.
I don't think racism.
That's what I'm going.
I don't
off
think
of. I
racism
was
would be a
listening to
good
her.
plot, a good healthy plot for the Stranger Things series.
Because the way she said it was like,
Do you guys think
it's a lot of white people saying that it's him being racist, and she thinks it's like, it's white people trying like to be good. It's like, okay, you're starting off right, but not everything all the time.
not
It's-
everything's racist?
Just because he's a little black kid doesn't mean he's being a piece of shit to him because he's a little black kid.
Weird. All right.
I mean,
got you.
I can agree with that.
It's fine.
To finish this episode off, we have Joyce, again, believing in Will's visions and shit. And she's like, okay, he's not just having like PTSD over here. These are real
Now
shit.
memory.
Yeah, these are real. Will finds Dart initially and triggers another episode. And this is the shit episode. This is the one where Bob's advice comes in, and Bob gives fucking awful advice. He gives good advice, but not in this one situation, as we already discussed. And, so that ends that one. We get to the next episode.
Can I just say about like
ahead.
that one scene in the field though? Like that's legitimately the scariest possession I've ever seen in my
Oh
entire
yeah,
fucking
dude.
life.
Holy
That
When
shit
he
is
just
scary.
puts the mind flayer just puts his fucking arm down and just crashes into the ground
It's
like,
like a tornado and like
It just
enters
keeps, like, moving
every
forward.
orifice on his
and then
body.
he's just like, I felt him everywhere. And I was
disgusting.
like, now,
That was-
if you want a fucking like metaphor for sexual assault on children and shit, like him reacting to that, talking to his mom later, that is like exactly what
that
you
shit
would
was
see.
creepy as
That shit
fuck,
was
yo.
scary, for
That's
sure.
one thing that Stranger Things does really good. Like, it's not actually like scary, and it did really good with this too,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not really scary, but actually
it's just chilling.
good, entertaining,
It's-
chilling,
It's
creepy.
scary to watch.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
like I'm
It's
not
like
a big
psychologically.
It's fucked up.
disturbing.
It's like the
Yeah.
fear comes from the non-belief.
fan. Yeah,
The fear comes from the kids going, "Hey, we need help," and people going, "No, you don't."
yeah. Because I'm not. Me and Jared, I think Jared's very similarly the same way. I'm not a big fan of actual like the modern horror kind of
'cause they
things,
suck.
like the jump scare. Like all they are is jump scares.
It's
They're
just
not
a bunch of-
actually
It's just loud.
chilling.
It's
yeah.
just
gallons
fucking
of
loud.
blood, and then you got you don't have genuine scares nowadays.
Yeah, they're just like jump scares. So I love these ones. Like it was, obviously
Yeah.
we watched it and
very
like,
good.
that
movie.
kind of thing is super good. And this has that same vibe too, where it's chilling and creepy horror.
It's
not
creepy.
like-
It's got
Yeah,
a great
exactly.
story.
Like the actual, like it's fear.
Yeah.
Like it's actual fear instead of like knowing, be like, all right, well, he's just gonna die.
Jump scare
He's,
inbound.
yeah, he's just gonna
You
be
know?
dead.
yeah, jump scare every 10 minutes.
Lights in the dark. All the lights are off. Oh, I'm scared.
yeah.
Just
But
start
you
them.
got this kid in the middle of a field in like a overcast day, and you're just like, wow, this
And
is
he's-
suspenseful as shit.
just fucking standing there.
Go away!
Dude,
Go
that
away!
fucking kid needs every goddamn award that he can fucking get for
Yeah, he
this
does
season.
a fantastic job.
All the
kids do
child
a
actors
fantastic
are
job.
like 3
I mean,
steps above every child actor I've ever
Oh yeah,
seen.
definitely. This is his season though. This is his show.
You're right.
Like
Because the one
Will,
before he was gone.
yeah, because he just wasn't even like a character in the majority of it, except for
Yeah.
like a few crying scenes. But this one, it's just like, because you got to think about it. It's like watching him and doing the possession scenes. It's like how kind of fucking corny that it really is. But then it's like the way that he's doing it and the way that he like kind of pushes the almost overact, but doesn't. And just
Yeah.
holds it back at the right points, and like his face just drops, like when he starts to cry, and then she's just like, oh, and he's just like, let me go, and it's just like, oh no, never mind, don't let him go.
Yeah, so next episode starts off, Will's in that field, that shit's just happened where he's been possessed or whatever. Joyce is there now. They all find him. I think Mike tells Joyce that he's also been having it, he knows about it, that kind of thing. And they go home. Will's acting a little strange. Hopper comes over and, Will's freaking the fuck out, But I guess he's kind of, at this point, he must be maybe the spy already.
He likes
Or
it cold.
Semi is. Yeah, he's like, he likes it cold or
He
whatever.
likes it
he's
cold.
like that
That's the
now.
point when we're supposed to know,
Yeah,
as the audience. That's when we're supposed to be certain of it.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I don't know if you really are certain that he's already the spy.
Well,
But
I
now,
mean,
if you think
not
back
the
on
way
it-
that they're referring to it, but like the fact that he's saying this is that thing's opinion on this. This is what that thing wants.
We know
That's
he's
what
possessed.
We know he's
that's what you're
possessed,
supposed to know.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying at this point, you still feel like, or at least I felt like he still had his own free will. But thinking back on it, I don't know if he really does, right? Because
Well, yeah, that's like, would he though?
happens-
Would he want a cold bath when he knows what the thing that wants the cold bath is?
Yeah.
So
Because
it's
in this
like,
part, this is where he starts drawing the vines and shit like that. And so you're like, okay, he's drawing this, he's helping them find
because he
it.
can't explain
But
it.
by
yeah.
doing this, he does this, and this leads Hopper to realize, oh, this vine, this is the pumpkin patch. This is where I need to go. He goes to the pumpkin. So that means the thing probably just manipulated the situation for Hopper to go to the pumpkin patch, go down, and gets fucking sprayed in the face, which I definitely think is going to come back in the third season.
Right.
Well, I think what I got from that was that like the mind flayer itself being aware of Will, other than the fact that he was just like, oh, this is a human and it can see me and knows what I'm doing. That's mildly interesting. So that's kind of how I feel why it's chasing him around. And because like he escaped, he got out. And then I kind of think it's, like it's a slow build for him. Cause like after it possesses him, it's like, all right, that's done. And then it's just kind of like, he's just a part of the Upside Down like army and everything at that point. But then the vine drawing, I think that's still Will. I think that's Will just being legitimate. Like, this is just what I'm feeling. This is what's going on. And then Hopper figuring that out
Just
his own way.
Yeah.
That was just a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
It could be. That being said, on the other hand, Will says he can't tell them he has to draw because he just can't confront that or whatever. What if that's Will trying to hold back that information, but the monster's pushing him to?
Well, it could be that, but I felt like that was more just like he's a kid.
I mean,
And he
yeah.
doesn't have the life experience
That's what I took from it,
to
too.
use the words that he would need to be like, these are vines. Like, what the fuck would a kid really know about like a vine, like growing and killing things? That's an adult thing that you take care of.
So that happens. Hopper leaves, goes to the thing. Nancy and Jonathan are now trying to tell the parents, but they get picked up by Dr. Owens, who we haven't talked about yet, which kind of want to talk a little bit about. He gets picked up by Dr. Owens, who is now the new doctor at Hawkins' lab. They're spying. They have bugs on everyone's phones and shit, so they hear them. They pick them up, and they take them down to the Upside Down and like show them, like, this is the Upside Down. It's coming through.
It's spreading.
We're going to pretty much, he makes a threat to him, essentially. Like, he chooses the fire as a threat. Like, we have to stop this so other governments and shit like that don't find out about it, which, I mean, definitely probably is true.
Oh, well,
As
he's
well.
one of those guys. I think he believes in his role. He's not like necessarily evil,
He doesn't think he's evil.
but he doesn't think he's evil. Exactly. He's not like I'm trying to do bad things or anything like that. He thinks he got put into charge of like a shitty situation, and he's trying to control it. And he's trying to, because like even at
Because
the
he even
end-
refers to it. He's like,
Oh, yeah,
this
he's-
is a mistake.
He's definitely
we've
not
made.
evil. Isn't he the one walking Bob through the end? I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he does a
he
lot.
has a
but
care for humans.
you
you know?
also have, so here's one
and
thing.
yeah,
Here's one thing you have to think about Dr. Owens. I don't know if you know about it. He's from Aliens. He's a doctor. in
They
Aliens
talked about
as
that
well.
reference, but I never watched that movie, so I don't know.
So he's like in that show. He's a very similar character in Aliens, the movie. He's essentially I don't remember if he's a doctor or not a doctor, but he's like that kind of guy. Like if in this one you get the vibe that he's good, right?
Mhm.
He's good. He also has that same vibe in Aliens, but in reality he's not really as good.
Yeah.
Like he tricks the main character into like bringing a baby home or something, like an alien hybrid baby home or some shit. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's some shit like that. So like he pretends to be good and is to some degree, but isn't as good as he seems.
What I got from him was that like he understands that what they made there in that lab's like probably shouldn't have happened, because he talks about it as like, this was a mistake. You know, we've made very serious mistakes. Your friend died. We were the cause of that, which is where the tape comes in.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but we're trying to maintain it. We're trying to close it. We're trying to keep it here, just in this spot. And it's like, if anybody else finds out about this, like, do you really think they would think it was a mistake? Do you think they would not want this to like open up everywhere and let it spread wherever they want? Because then they would think the Russians think that would make it easier.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens, and this is where you were just saying. We find out she leaves. She's like, okay, well, whatever. She leaves, and she recorded this whole conversation, which I found that was one of the parts in here where I was like, they really just let her walk out with a recording, like they didn't realize she was recording this whole time.
yeah, that's crazy. How did nobody be like?
Well, I
it's
feel
like
like,
the 80s too.
well,
It's
I
gotta be-
mean, you gotta think, well, it's like they, if we're to believe this was like some super espionage shit, then like, they wouldn't really expect her to have anything on her if they went out and tricked her and got her from the park and brought her inside. So it's like she was her own Trojan horse.
True.
Yeah.
So it's like I could see
I
her
can
getting
see
away
it.
with
I
it.
definitely
I
can
could
see
definitely see it working and being. I mean, if it wasn't successful, it wouldn't be a plot point. So
Yeah, I get you. So we go back to Dustin's house. Dart's escaped out of his little pen, and he's fucking eating the cat.
He's a lot bigger now.
He's a lot bigger. And this is where I guess Dustin really starts to go, holy fuck, I fucked up. I have made a mistake. My cat is dead. Mews.
when he's just fucking like, he's got all the pets. Oh shit, oh fuck, shit, bitch. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much the whole season.
Yeah, Dustin is cussing up a storm.
Oh, they fought for that. Those kids fought for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, those kids demanded to be able to cuss or they wouldn't come back.
Oh, shit.
Like they straight up, they cornered Netflix and were like, we're saying shit. We're saying bitch. And we're saying
bitching.
We're saying bitching.
We're saying bitching.
That's my favorite thing. Pretty
Me
to
too.
bitching. That's what we're going
Bitchin'.
for.
We go back to 11 at the cabin. She's gone back. Hopper's there. They're getting a fucking argument. She throws a little psychic tantrum, which was pretty fucking cool. I love like when she's like moving around and like they talk about it in that first little extra thing, man. Where she's like slamming the door with her psychic powers and shit. Like she breaks open the windows, but she also like slams the door. She's gotten so much more used to using them and shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
She's intuitive now, or it's intuitive now.
Yeah, it's like second nature now, which I found really fucking awesome.
I'd say like that scene, like with that one, that's really like the only scene I saw where I was like, all right, Hopper really shouldn't be in charge of this situation. Cause he's not, like, he's kind of being the real piece of shit right now. Cause one, he's screaming at a little kid. You don't scream at little kids. Two, he's screaming at a little kid with psionic powers that kinda is super emotional because she's kind of like a 3-year-old in like a semi-teenager's body because she's never really been outside in the world ever. And then it's like, he's not really looking at it from her point of view. He's just saying, I'm keeping you safe.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You'll understand later.
These are the
which-
rules. I have no reason why you should follow
Yeah,
them.
exactly. Which is
But
always
you
the
should.
mistake that like an adult makes with a kid, which
Yeah,
is kind of
he's-
the point. Yeah.
And
They show him really home. He's not like the best father.
Yeah. But I mean, and then it's the same as like with Billy and his dad. It's like they show you why Hopper's like that. It's like, of course he's going to be freaked out and wanting to protect her and keep her around all the time because his kid's fucking dead. So all he thinks about is like, oh, you walked outside, you're fucking dead. You talk to somebody, you're fucking dead. And it's going to be my fault again. And it's just like that kind of stuff. So like, I can see why he's doing it, but that's,
But
you
he's
know.
doing it wrong.
His character like irked me. Like that person, like Jim Hopper. I was just
Yeah.
like, I don't like you right now, Jim. But then, you know, he always brings it back because he's Hopper.
Because he's Hopper.
The stupidest fucking thing. You skipped right over it though. I
I'm
really
about
want
to go right now. It
The-
starts
the
with this
whole-
episode.
the
Yes,
whole?
That's
Okay.
right where this episode starts. Hopper goes back to the pumpkin patch, digs down into the fucking underbelly, I guess you want to call it, by himself.
Fucking-
Like, what the fuck? What are you, Superman now? What's going on?
I said
Why
on a
are you
fucking
doing that?
Snapchat yesterday when I was rewatching it, I was like, here's this motherfucker just digging down into a hole, no backup, nobody knowing where the fuck he
40-foot
is,
hole.
with a fucking flashlight and his big old dick. That's it. That's all he's got going down there with, and he almost makes it.
Yeah. So he goes down there. He gets fucked up by some spores, which again, I think, we'll go ahead and talk about it now. Him and Dustin later get hit by these spores. And
Dustin has a
Judging-
mask on.
huh?
I'm pretty sure Dustin has a mask on, and then he's just freaking out. and
Yeah,
saying- he's like,
Dustin's
it's in my
like-
mouth, it's in my mouth.
And he's like,
Oh no,
"Oh,
never
no,
mind,
no."
I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, either way, as we've already seen with Will with shit in his mouth, I definitely think that's going to come back in season 3.
That would be great. That would be
Something's
amazing.
going to fucking happen.
That would be really fucking cool.
I think. So he gets fucked up, gets knocked out. Will has a vision of it. They enlist Bob the Brain.
Bob the fucking my girlfriend got mad at me about this one because like when he comes in and he's going through the map and he's like, oh, what is this, a treasure hunt, like because he's from the fucking Goonies.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, he's from the Goonies. It's not, it's just like, who wouldn't say that? And then she was just
Yeah.
like, well, I watched the show
And
and,
then
they
Bob's
specifically
genius
said
ass.
they wrote it because of that. And I was like, oh,
He realizes it's a map of Hawkins. They're
Yeah.
like,
because he recognizes the Lover's Lake.
yeah.
Yeah. So he comes in, realizes it's the map. They use it. Bob uses his brain to find the pumpkin patch so they can find Hopper and save his ass.
Well, it's Will too, because he's in the car and he's like, turn right now,
That's true.
because they're lost. And then, I didn't really get the vines part though. Like I thought they were going to hit it with like roots. Cause it definitely seems like more of a, like a
Yeah.
root kind of scenario. But
I would agree because especially when I was first watching it, definitely felt more like a tree kind of thing.
yeah,
Like the mind flayer was like some sort of like living,
it was
Monster,
the roots,
but also,
and
like,
it was going
tree,
out and doing
yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
especially
vines
like
still
the
work.
way like it took over Will and shit too. Like
Well, I mean, maybe it's like the vines or the roots are in the upside down,
That-
and then
yeah.
what's left is what we see in the real world.
Okay, the negative space is our world, and then the vines are okay. That makes
I mean,
sense.
maybe that's
I like
what it is.
that.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
So we
Okay.
kind
We'll
of already
move.
got into a little bit with this, but Nancy and Jonathan go to the conspiracy dude. That whole situation was pretty awesome. They do the thing.
They
He
figure
gets him to
everything out.
fuck. They they figure everything out. He gets Jonathan and Nancy get to fuck. No, I don't know.
mentioned.
I don't know if you
Several times,
They fucked.
lots of times.
I mean, I'm trying to be in Jonathan's shoes. I'm trying to give Jonathan some points. Okay,
I mean, he's just being, he's a good person.
Nice guys win, man.
nice guys. Win.
Genuine nice guys. I mean, he sliced his fucking hand open for her.
Yeah,
They talked about it.
they did.
And then they were like, oh, we're touching. We're going to get pregnant.
We come back to Dustin. He's trying to mess with Dart, he's now trapped in the cellar.
And then he enlists
he
the
enlists
fucking
Steve.
services of Steve the King Harrington.
Which this is where it starts. Probably my favorite.
This is when it
duo
kicks
in
up.
the-
This is
yeah.
when it starts getting real.
This is where it
good.
kicks up. This is my favorite duo because they have a lot of different little pairings in here, and this is my favorite man by far. Him and Steve are just fantastic, killing shit, doing the thing.
Farrah
over,
Fawcett,
trying to kill
hairspray.
shit. Yeah.
3 spritz.
It's like, yeah. I love it. I love Steve Harrington in this season.
He's so good, man. He does so fucking good.
You don't think? No, never mind. I was going to say, what if Billy becomes like Steve Harrington in the next season? What if he
No.
becomes a good guy?
I
But
feel
that's
like
not
I don't even know if
happening.
Max will still be around with 11 back. I guess, quote unquote, back.
I mean, what are they going to
I
do?
mean, I could
mean,
see
they-
Max staying around, but I don't see Billy's character
don't know.
really needing to come back.
I mean, I think he's going to be there. They still want that like we were talking about earlier. You don't agree with, but they still want that human evil guy as well.
I'll wait and see what they do with it.
I mean, either
I didn't
they're-
like him this season. I didn't like the character in general in this season.
It
But
depends how far forward they go, probably.
Mhm.
If they go like 5 years, it could be like, oh, they drifted apart. If they go like a year, then it'll be weird. If either they moved or
Yeah, I could see them moving, but
Oh, I thought you meant like how many seasons
Back
they
to
had. I was like,
California
yeah,
or
if they have like
whatever.
5 seasons, I could see his character getting an arc. But since it's like literally
Right,
just,
that's-
it was a one-off show and now they just happen to have a second season, it's like, do we really need to throw in new fucking people?
Well, so with Hopper coming out of the thing, 11, she's like, all right, fuck you, Hopper. She leaves again. She goes to find her mom.
She goes to find Mama.
Yeah, go. Yeah. The way she talks about Mama, Papa, like. the
Yeah,
way
that's
she
like I
does
said,
this-
she's a 3-year-old in
Yeah.
like a teenager's body.
Yeah, seriously, because I guess she hasn't really had any real education and shit like that.
yeah, like when she's with Hopper, he's like teaching her words and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because she's just been in a lab like her
Mm-hmm.
whole fucking life, not taught anything.
That's why that stupid like pretty thing in the first season doesn't make any fucking sense. Because it's like she doesn't know any of these things, but she knows what fucking pretty is, and that she
Yeah.
wants to be it for this boy.
I don't know. It works. I mean, season 1 was really, really
Bitching's way better.
Bitching is the best word.
good. She does a little psychic thing with her mom and whatnot.
And we learned that shit is fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, that shit is really fucked up. Like Rose's Rainbow.
Yeah, wait,
24.
it's,
It takes her nonsensical like wording and it makes sense of it.
Was it
Why
breathe?
is she saying these words? Breathe, rainbow,
Breathe sunflower,
rainbow.
because it's breathe for her sister, and then she wakes up to see the sunflowers in the hospital room. And then it's 4 to the left, 3 to the right, because she gets the gun.
she gets
Then
the gun
it's-
from the safe. Yeah.
Then it's the rainbow room, and then it's 450 for the thingy thing. The
Yeah.
electrolysis, whatever the fuck you call it.
Basically,
Oh, yeah, the,
she's on loop to saying the
electric
same
thing.
thing, and nobody knows what she's saying except for it's
And
it's
it's
things
sad,
that
too.
happen to her.
Because
Yeah,
like
she's
the,
like in
the
a
sister's
cycle.
like, well, we think she's in a dream. Maybe it's a good
Yeah.
dream. It's
Didn't
like,
they-
Oh no,
it's a bad dream.
It's literally the worst fucking day of her entire
Didn't
life.
they just
going
fry
over
her
and over
mind,
again.
and that's why she's like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's which is where it leads to in this next future episode. 11, goes off from there to find her sister because her mom wants her to find her sister, or quote unquote, like her not real sister, but like
They're in the lab.
in
Sister.
the lab sisters together.
Might as well be.
And this is where we get into what's the next episode, but we'll go ahead and talk about it now. We got episode 7 coming through. Goes off on her own. You don't really get any other town shit. 11 goes off to find Callie in, I think, Chicago or Pittsburgh or something.
It's
Chicago.
Chicago.
That's Chicago.
And has like this little side adventure where she finds her sister, gets stronger,
Gets a little power
meets
boost,
the fucking
yeah.
warriors.
Learns that that's she learns where home is.
Yeah,
That's the point of it. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point. I also think that they were trying to set up Callie for future seasons.
It's backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
Also learned that from the thing.
Oh, it's a what?
It's a backdoor pilot. It's where they just like throw in like the pilot of like a different show, but in the middle of a season of a previous show, so they don't have to make two.
Okay, so it is kind of like trying to be a spinoff, I guess.
It's them, so in case they get
Potential
interest.
spinoff.
Yeah, if they,
Okay.
it's a safety.
Well, I
for
saw
them,
people
just, like,
talking,
just in case
trying to
people
call it
want
like it might be a spinoff. For me, it felt more like they were just trying to throw her character into not so much for a spinoff, but for like future plot development.
And 11 centric.
Well,
centric
yeah, 11's like
scenario.
trying to find her family, and
Yeah.
she's like a family character to her.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
like they were gonna bring Kali. I feel like they're gonna bring. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like they're gonna bring Kali back in like season 3 or 4.
And then also it's 8 and 11. So who the fuck else is there?
That's also very true. Yeah. So we did that whole episode. What did you think? You had some good opinions on it, or whatever, or your own opinions.
Okay, but when I watched it, because I try to watch everything and then not read anything about it, just so I can have my own opinion, because I'm so easily fucking like influenced by other people. I did kind of feel like it was kind of off, where it was just like, all right, this is happening, but I'm not super interested in these kids or these other fucking punk people. Like, I don't really know. And Kali's interesting just because Kali was in the program,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she doesn't mention or say anything about the program other than I'm just murdering people that were a part of it. And it's like, that doesn't teach me anything. Like, it's cool to know that there's other people out there and that 11 could find them. But I feel like the episode itself just kind of took away.
It reminded me of like the Chronicle, where somebody had a power and like you got one wanting to use it for her friends in good ways, then she had her friends and they're, fucking thugs.
different levels of morality.
She
and
goes
what you
into
think
her
of.
history a little bit where she says she tried to have the family and it got taken away from her. So now she's on the revenge path, essentially.
I probably wasn't paying attention to that part.
Could have been a lie. I mean, she just says that.
That's another thing. I didn't trust Kali for a fucking second.
Yeah, we
she
don't know.
literally gets into your fucking head and makes you see things. That's
Yeah.
that's
She
the
even
thing with
messes
those
with
kind of
11 at
characters.
one point.
Yeah, she forces that. She uses her power on 11. And I feel like at that moment, 11 was like, "Oh, you're not my fucking
11
family,"
could-
because I would never fucking do that.
11
to my
power.
friends.
I feel like 11's powers are like so much greater than hers.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, hers are really cool.
hers
as
are
we were
cool.
talking, but
Hers are very interesting.
They're equally dangerous. 11 is just straightforward dangerous because
Yeah.
she could legitimately hurt you, and then Kali's is more of a sneaky dangerous.
we do also find out in this episode that Papa is probably still alive and out there somewhere, so he'll be probably coming back in season 3 or 4.
I like that.
And for me, I like the episode fairly much. I do think that it kind of takes you out of the season because this, like you were saying, like it starts to ramp up and it leaves you on like a cliffhanger, and then
Yeah.
For a story that you're not even into, right
and then
now.
all of a sudden it's like boom, like let's show you some other
Right
thing
back
for,
to
like, a
this
whole
other
episode.
shit that you just gave a fuck about that you don't care too much about now.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with that. But
I don't know. It didn't affect me in that way. It stopped the story. You're right, but then the whole like, oh, and now here's 11 building her character and then bringing us back to the story. It worked fine.
I
for me.
think 11's parts were necessary. I just didn't like it in the setting of that episode of a story.
Yeah.
Like bringing in a whole bunch of new characters. Just like she could have done that by herself. Like she could have just been like, I'm going out in the woods to fucking train and I'm going to get stronger because this shit's building up.
yeah, I feel you. So we go back to the main story. It was kind of at the end of the last episode, but as we rescued Hopper, they start the scientists and shit show up. And they start torching the fucking vines and shit, and Will gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Like he's like fucking dying. They rush him
That
to-
part was scary when he's just laying on the
Literally
fucking,
thought
like,
he would just die.
yeah,
Yeah.
shit like that's the freakiest to me
They-
when they're just like,
They just
Oh,
kept
he's
calling him a
doing it.
host, and they're burning
it's
the
a
things he's
virus.
hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was freaky. I thought
True.
I was with you. I
Well,
thought
that's
he was
also
dying.
another instance of good guy doctor because everyone was like, we got to burn it. He was like,
Fuck
well,
the kid.
hold on, like
fuck the kid. And he's like, no,
hold on,
we
like-
can't just let a kid
Oh,
die.
yeah.
we don't want the
That's-
kid to die.
That is
Let's
true.
see what we can do here.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
like,
It's like, I'm gonna go and thank you guys. Don't fucking burn anything. Thank you.
because
Yeah,
I
this-
feel like he's in there. It's 2 seconds. I'll be right
No,
down
you're
real
good,
fast.
you're good, you're
Fucking, because he's like, you do realize we're in this town, right? Like we're surrounded by this town. So if we're just murdering fucking kids, town's not gonna be real happy about it, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of the way he was coming from that, but also like, I don't want to kill a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard to tell. Is he looking at it from a I don't want to piss off Hopper in the town, or is it I don't want to kill a kid? But I
think it's a
I was
combination.
convinced. Well, yeah,
I think it's
probably
both.
is.
Especially with the conversations he had with Hopper, where
'Cause
Hopper was
definitely
like,
like,
I've been fucking trying. If you don't,
I'm
like,
gonna
I'm
fucking-
done.
Yeah, I'm done.
And everyone's gonna fucking know about you.
And so Will's, I guess they settle Will down or whatever to get him up, but now he's like lost his memories and shit. This is where he really started to realize, all right,
This is when it tips.
yeah, this is where it tips. This is he's on the
He remembers Mike, right?
yeah
It's
he's
like-
yeah Mike's my freak. I think he loses.
Well,
his
it's the
short-term
moment
memory.
because Winona Ryder's like, "Who am I?" And he goes, "Your mom," and she's like, "Fuck it, put him to sleep." Like that took way too long.
So he's fucked up. He's losing his memories. Go ahead.
Is he losing his memories or is the Mind Flayer suppressing his memories? Because he seems to get things back later on. Because he's like, "Yeah, Bob fucking died."
I think at this point, I don't even.
Well, I think it's possession. He's
Yeah,
just
I think
not.
he's just not there.
him.
Yeah. That's why it takes him a second to go. Like I think the Mind Flayer had to like figure it out.
Like, hey, Will,
Yeah, 'cause
who the
I was
fuck
real
is this?
confused.
process of elimination. Your mom.
Like, I was real confused about that because, like, when they were showing her the CAT scans or the MRIs, and he was like, "This is today," and it had like grown. I was like, "Oh, it literally just ate his fucking brain," and so I was confused about that. But I'm good to know. I'm happy that he still has his brain.
Yeah.
Brains are necessary.
For real, man.
necessary.
You'd think so. That's what your brain tells you.
Yeah. So
That's what your brain tells you, but you don't need it, man. You don't need it. You can be fine without it.
we go back to Steve and Dustin. They're going to use the junkyard. Lucas finally shows back up.
They're
I
gonna.
don't remember what Lucas was doing. I think he
Lucas was
that,
at the arcade
with Max.
explaining everything to Max, and then
Yeah.
Max was just
Max
being
has
a
been out of the
stone
loop
cold
the whole time.
Yeah, so
She
now
has no
she's
clue.
in the loop, although she doesn't believe it.
Yeah, no, she's being
So
a dick.
to get
She's
her
like,
to believe it, now,
I really liked it.
yeah,
I thought it was pretty okay. There's little plot holes. It's like, my friend almost fucking died. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, at the same, because I can
mean,
see it being hard to see, but at the same time, she
Yeah,
does
but
have
no,
to be
still
like,
fuck her though.
It'd be
they
hard
call
to
him
believe.
Zombie
Like, I
Boy for a
understand, but still
reason.
fuck her.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It gives
but
me
at
a
the
reason to say fuck
Yeah,
her.
but at the same time, I mean, they do call him Zombie Boy for a reason. Like, it's not like there was like no basis of evidence for this.
I mean, she didn't even believe him when he told her that part, the like normal everyday lie story part, where he's like, "Yeah, my friend disappeared in the woods for a week, and we found a body that we thought was his, so we buried it, and it wasn't him, and now he's back."
So, anyways, they're all joining together now. He's like, "I can prove it to you. Let's all go." They're going to try and get Dart. They do the They go back to the same junkyard they went to with the Demogorgon last season to do their thing. Steve goes out because he's a fucking badass. I love this. Like,
It's like
Steve's
add another,
badass, yo.
add another option on the menu.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no, he really is.
Yeah.
He needs to run.
He goes out. Turns out though, I don't know
Plot
where
twist.
the fuck these others come from.
That
There's
was a big ass
bunch
plot
of Dimmet
twist.
dogs.
Well, I think it's probably
Well, they said, what was it? That like it can create more from itself or something.
I think that's what it is. I think it created those, and then that's why Dart's different, because it came out of Will. Dart came out of Will. That's why he's got that spot on him. I think that's the only thing. Like the others are like clones from like the actual
From the
the
Mind
actual
Flayer or whatever.
Mind Flayer, which is why they're all exactly the same.
And
then
probably why Dart's like, because at the end or
and
whatever.
wants
Dart
to
has
eat candy.
He has like a soft spot for
yeah,
Dustin.
for Dustin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, Nougat. I like that. I should have been named Nougat.
I should have been named Nougat.
I think. Oh fuck! I'm just having an idea. It could be like Dart's part of Will and the Mind Flayer, not just a part of the Mind Flayer. So Dart fills for Dustin and like candy and all the other things that like Will might feel it. So that's why he's open to being not 100% controlled by the Mind Flayer and like giving the option to be like, all right, I'm going to eat this candy instead of you guys. You can leave.
We also go back to the scientists are going down into the tunnels
Oh,
and
the
the underbelly and
Marines.
shit.
Yeah, they send the
This is
Marines
where we
back
actually 100% find out like Will's fucked.
Yeah, Will's not in
Because he's
control
like,
at all.
yeah, go down there, yeah. And it
And
turns,
he's like, "I'm
and this
sorry."
is where Mike Finhart Mike realizes
Finn Wolfhard.
Finn Wolfhard, but Mike, the character, realizes like, okay,
Oh, he's the first one,
fucking
too.
spy.
And I like that. I like that Mike's like the first one that goes, oh shit, my best friend's the bad guy. And we need to do something about
That's
it right
cool.
now.
I kind of just like, well, I don't know. It seemed pretty shitty that these like scientists, they were kind of like half soldiers, right?
Well, they send soldiers down there.
They sent soldiers down there, and they have weapons.
You know, it's like how astronauts are, they're
Yeah,
basically just
well, yeah.
scientists with extra training.
I guess you're right. It felt weird that all these people with weapons get so easily owned by the dogs.
Well, I think also the thing is
It
like
was
that you
foggy
see
as
them,
shit,
yeah,
bro.
well that, and then you also see them getting shot. Like the demo dogs do get shot. It just doesn't put them down.
Sure.
Doesn't stop them.
I just feel like if I were in that situation as a non-soldier, I'd be like, all right, let's get up against the wall.
Nah.
Well,
I
the
mean,
wall's covered in vines
they
that'll
don't-
strangle you and kill you.
They don't know what the
I
fuck
should
they're
get up
in,
against
you
it.
know.
Just like put your back to the wall. Yeah, I mean they don't know what's
Yeah,
coming.
they don't. They have no like. They don't know what they're dealing
They don't
with
even know about
anywhere.
the dogs yet. You're
And
right.
then
Well,
it's
I don't
a-
even know if you want to touch a wall at that point. Like,
Yeah, the wall would have just strangled your ass.
And then it's a group of 10 to 12 individuals versus 30 to 100 singular minds.
Right.
Like, that all know what they're doing at
Who was
every
the
second.
leader of that group though?
The Mind Flayer.
No, I'm talking about the
Oh,
soldiers.
of the scientists back in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were leading them through the intercom.
Leaders don't do things. Leaders don't go places.
Y'all go in this room. There's a lot of dots around
Bruh.
you.
Then we
It's
come into
called command structure.
Billy seducing Mike's mother. I totally thought they was about to fuck.
I feel like Billy probably does
That
that
was
a
funny.
lot. Like that's what Billy does all the time for fun, is to make like older ladies like cream their panties over him, and then he can just be like, "I'm gonna go fuck your daughter now."
Yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, agreed. He,
Because if I looked like Billy, that's what I'd do.
Yeah, he's looking for Max, right?
He's got that Fight Club
nah,
cut.
he's looking for Max right now because his dad, and we get the little
Because
backstory
his
there.
dad
We
beats
realize
the
that
shit out of him.
That's why he's a sociopath, because his dad's a fucking sociopath.
Billy was
They're beating the
supposed
shit
to
out
be
of
babysitting. Max sneaks off with Lucas. He gets his ass chewed out.
And then he's
They
gotta
tell him he
find
can't go on a date with that whore.
His dad uses a lot of
His
word
dad
choices.
fucking is on his ass.
He's a horrible fucking person.
I mean, it's just, that's where you like. I heard some people be like, "Well, we never really get any backstory or."
I feel like we get all the backstory on that family.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's the thing though, is that like their backstory isn't all that much.
You get to see that Billy's not like the hottest shit in the world either.
Yeah.
Like, he has he gets
Issues.
put down. I don't know.
I just feel like
Well,
they
it
do
just
that.
explains where
they-
he's coming from.
Well, I
and
feel
where
like,
Max is
like
coming
they
from.
do that too often to justify what he's doing. Not to say that it's a good thing, but that to be like, oh no, poor Billy.
Well, it's like patterns.
Oh, poor little
However
boy.
you're treated. is usually
Poor little
how you're
boy's
gonna
got
treat
hurt.
people.
Like, poor little boy's an asshole.
Well, I think it's just backstory. I still think Billy's the biggest douche in the world.
It's like bad things can happen to you. It doesn't mean you have to do bad things
Right.
to other people. And I feel like that's just unfortunately what comes
Well,
out of
look
like
at
throwing.
Max. Like Max isn't a dick.
Well, Max, see, that's the thing is Max is trying to surround herself
With
other
good
people,
people, yeah.
whereas Billy keeps pushing everybody away. Like, what if Billy showed up to that school and was like, I want to be best friends with Steve instead of a fucking asshole? And it's like, they'd be the two fucking coolest guys there, and they'd be wrecking every fucking sports team.
I think.
Every fucking...
Well, I just think the reason that can't work is because like Billy was probably the coolest thing in California, and then he comes to a new school and it's like, well, Steve's the coolest thing, so it's like that rivalry off of that.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, but
basically
if he
off of
were
that.
real cool, he'd be like,
They're like
We
buddy
should be friends.
heads.
Exactly.
Well, that's never.
Yeah,
a
well, I mean,
thing.
he's a sociopath. So,
Exactly.
sociopaths don't have
He's probably
fucking
used to
friends.
being the hottest shit in the world. You can tell by the way he, opens his shirt every time he wears one.
The way he rubs cologne on his dick. That's gonna burn. Like, you can't
Hey,
just
man.
do that. That's not safe. That's how you get an infection.
He was wearing that Sex Panther.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So we go back to the lab. The demi-dogs are fucking rolling through. They're killing everybody.
They're fucking
now.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, how are these just like packs of these fucking no face, fucking all teeth motherfuckers just running around and nobody notices that shit?
I guess they run in tunnels the whole time or something, man.
Is it
But,
Indiana? Is it all in Indiana?
somewhere around
Hawkins,
there.
Indiana?
It's either in like something like either Indiana or Maine or Illinois, something like that.
It's definitely Indiana. So yeah, I guess I can see
fuck
it.
it's in there. No, I'm just playing.
No, I just mean like woodsy. So I
Yeah.
guess I answered my own question.
I
It's
was
just
just
what I was
playing.
trying to go at.
So they're doing their thing.
I felt like that was a joke, but he didn't get it.
Me?
Yeah,
What joke?
that it was Indiana. Like you were like, oh, it's Indiana. That's why no one notices crazy shit. But I didn't get the
Oh,
joke.
no, I wasn't
so
making a
didn't say
joke. I
anything.
just legitimately forgot
Okay.
what state it was in, and I was asking, and then
I
you
thought
were
it was like
like,
a joke that I didn't understand, so I was like, I'm
but
gonna stay out of
well,
it.
then he said Illinois or Maine, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's definitely nowhere fucking else. It was
Wasn't corn.
Indiana.
No.
It was definitely
Well, I just
fucking
knew it was
Indiana.
one of those like northern, midwestern.
Well,
state
Maine's
things.
northeast, Indiana's like Midwest.
You know, they're around.
North
we
America.
we fly
it's
over
around
all of
North
them.
America.
It's in the northern
Few
part
thousand
of
miles,
North
you know.
America. Or somewhere around there.
The United States is
So
the greatest
Mike
country in
convinces
North America.
Joyce, like, hey, we need to put this bitch asleep. We need to put Will asleep. So they put Will asleep, cause he's the spy and shit. They take him out of there. They escape. Bob's like, oh shit, we're in a situation. Shit's locked down. The power's out. We need someone to go down there.
Do
Bob's
you
like,
know basic?
You know, basic.
You know,
Why don't I just teach you French, Jim? How about some German? I love that
Bob
part.
shows he's a badass man.
For
Badass
the record, how what he typed in.
For the record,
He
I
could have
taught
written
myself
it.
basic in high school. All right,
I'm
so
just saying, I
it's not
understand.
that hard.
I can understand him not teaching him basic like on the fly right there. But
Here's
what
a
he
piece
put
of
in the
paper
computer
with what's
right
written.
in.
Yeah, just write it down.
Just write it and be like, type that in, hit enter, type that in, hit enter, and it'll bring up a screen. Like,
I don't know. Like,
My
they
favorite
even,
thing-
hold on, they
my-
even had fucking walkie-talkies.
I mean, to be fair though, could you imagine going left bracket,
Left crack it.
Hopper's like, I've never seen a
G-O-
keyboard.
GOTO
Never seen a
underscore.
keyboard.
Obviously, only nerds use
like-
keyboards. And
But
that's
then
where
it's also, it's like
Bob
he's there,
comes in.
like in every movie when there's a fucking hacker and he's going, click. And then that's all that happens
Yeah.
on the screen as it goes down one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they had to bring Bob, and that's fine. Bob went like a
He did a
badass.
good job.
He even got
did a
out.
great job.
Almost. He got out, and then he made the fatal move
You
of
just smiled.
smiling.
Bad idea.
When you're not actually out of the motherfucker.
If you're gonna smile,
Also, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, how did they not see that one, like, sprinting
there's
at
no
him?
way you didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't because the camera was like
Tight.
only look at his face.
Tight on
No,
him.
he was,
yeah.
he was like in a hallway or something, probably. Like,
No, because
They were
like
out
they were
in
in the
the-
lobby,
Yeah.
and directly behind him were the two double doors. He just shut with one demo dog behind it, and then that entire lobby is just open. Like there may be other doors and things, but like they're gonna either hear it on the marble running because you can hear them running when
Yeah.
it shows them, and then it shows it hitting him like in the air. So it jumped. It was going full speed.
Yeah.
She would have screamed or something. He would have been looking at it.
Yeah.
It was
I don't
super
know.
cliche.
Yeah,
I knew he was dead the moment it like slowed down. He was like smiling at her, like Joyce, yeah. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
no.
why would you? Yeah, God damn it.
Second thing, why did Joyce stay behind instead of Hopper with the gun?
Good
Another
point.
good point. Third thing, the doctor stays behind and lives.
Well, he's also locked in the room
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
and
like,
barely.
Why didn't they all
lives.
just stay behind then, or at least
Because they had to get out.
well, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm just bringing it back to the doctor, man. I think there's gonna be something big and special with the doctor going on.
Also,
this
Will
season.
wasn't there anymore. Will wasn't there with the doctor.
True.
And we already saw from Bob being in the closet and it walking up to it, they're not really going to fucking smell him and know that he's in there.
True.
And they can't open doors because they couldn't open doors when they all got out at the end.
They
Very true.
don't have thumbs.
They don't have thumbs. So they get out, man. They turn the power on. Bob gets fucked up, killed. I knew he was gonna die. Just saying. Maybe I could be 009, and I could see the future.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
009.
white guy.
Future one.
Promising character.
Fair point.
So we're back into it. They go back to the Buyer house, and Mike, I don't remember how it exactly plays out, but Mike, I guess, tells them like they're trying to figure out how to kill the thing. They're like, we need to kill the thing to save Mike. So like we're going to interrogate him where he doesn't know where he's at. So they go to the barn, and he's talking. This is where he's like, he's like super creepy, like, let me go.
Yeah, it's showing like possession, like actually
completely
possession.
possessed, yeah. But he's like tapping and doing Morse code. So
Yeah.
they figure out like maybe he is still in there using Morse code, but I don't remember exactly.
Jim notices it.
Well, I mean, Jim notices, but I mean, was it really him doing Morse code? He says
if-
close gate. What does
Close
it
the
mean?
gate.
Which is the
Close
gate
gate.
to the upside
Which,
down.
yeah, if he closes the gate, it cuts off the Mind Flayer's power. in
Oh,
Hopper.
so that was him. That
It was
still
Will
means some
saying
kind
it,
of
yeah.
stuff. Okay, close
He
the
was
gate.
just giving them advice that they at the time could not do because 11 wasn't there yet.
Yeah, 11 wasn't there, so she's on her way back. And oh my god, it's so badass. So at the end of this episode, they get found out.
And also, Will's the only person that could know that would work because he's the only person connected to the Mind Flayer.
True. They get found out. I don't remember exactly how they get found out either. What
Oh, it's
happens?
because
The
Will
phone
hears
rings.
the phone ring.
He hears
Oh,
his
and
phone
he
ring.
recognizes the phone. Yeah.
His phone.
Okay, so yeah, he recognizes the phone. They're like, shit, they're coming. They get in the house. The end of the episode, we're like, fuck, we're gonna have to kill some demo dogs. And boom, 11 shows up, throws the dogs in, walks to the door, and is like, hello, bitches, I'm back.
The most like unbelievable part about that is that not a single one of them fired a shot at that
Yeah.
one that flew through the window. And I was like, fuck all of y'all. You would have
feel
lit
like-
that shit up. Nobody's analyzing the situation and be like, oh, that thing's dead. I don't need to shoot
I feel like
that.
at that
That's
point,
fine.
if they shot at her, though, she just stop him, and then you have more questions as to how strong her powers are.
No, he was.
Oh, no, not at 11,
Oh,
just
never
at that
mind.
dog that she threw through the
She
window.
threw it through the window, and like, they were like, oh, that's a dead one. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Because then he even walks up and touches it with his foot. It's like, why weren't you shooting it from the beginning? You're a terrible marksman.
I mean, it wasn't moving and coming at one of them technically, so. I don't
Okay, yeah, because it's just like, oh, our friend's jumping through the window.
She comes
But yeah,
through.
but I
That's-
like the callback because it goes from like the first time she goes to her mother and she's like, fuck you, little bitch. We don't want any of your cookies, and slams the door shut. And then she goes, boop. I want to see mama, bitch. And
Yeah.
then this time they do it again. She unlocks the door lock and then she boop, slides the thing, opens it up, and she's like, what up? I'm a punk now.
Bitching.
I was worried they were going to try and shoot her at first there, but
They
I
would've-
was like,
she
they
would've
had to,
stopped it.
Well, not only
Like you
that,
said.
but they had to realize like when the door they kind of had to like subconsciously know it wasn't a dog because like the doors
They were
slid
waiting,
open
yeah.
and shit, you know. So it was like, all right, this probably is 11.
See that, like, I believe. I gave the bit. They're like, all right, a door's opening. They're human beings. You don't fire at an opening door unless
Yeah.
you're like, I'm literally the only other person alive here.
Yeah. So
You might not, but I no.
Well,
we're moving to. Go ahead.
Just before we move ahead, I just want to say I was sure Hopper was going to accidentally shoot somebody at the beginning of the series. There were so many times where he was like, I heard a noise in that field. I'm pulling out the gun and I'm walking like I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it
Oh
was
my
so
God.
intense. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, that's
he's
true.
gonna murder someone, some innocent person.
But also, isn't Hopper from Chicago or something?
I think he's from Hawkins, but he went to be a police officer,
Somewhere else.
like in a
It was
bigger
a bit more
city,
gritty, yeah.
and then he came back to Hawkins, I think.
Because I halfway remember that.
Unless
And
I
that's
made
kind of
that
just
up.
how I felt with like that's how he knows how to shoot an AR. Like that's how he knows how to
Maybe
like.
he is technically married to the crazy woman.
I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember anything about him, to be honest.
Fan
I just
theory.
know he's a baller. Anyways, back to where we were.
Back to we're moving into the last episode. Shit's going down. They're gonna Levin's here, so her and Hopper are going off to kill the gate or to close the gate,
Mhm.
so they can stop that bitch from coming through the mind flayer. And we have
The kids at the house
Kids-
still currently.
at the house currently with Steve, who's supposed to be watching over them.
Oh yes.
And Will and Jonathan and Nancy and Joyce are at
are
the cabin
going they're going to the cabin to try and heat
to
out.
hide him. Yeah.
Well, not to
burn
hide
it
out.
out.
They're going to burn out the infection because they know he doesn't like the heat, so they're going to like try and make it uncomfortable as shit for him and try and get him out of Will's body so they can close the gate. 'Cause they
Joyce
know-
is the only one with the fucking strength to beat the shit out of her son.
yeah, I guess so. They have the balls to do it, though. So they go do that. They get it out, like you were just saying, man. Like fucking Joyce is like,
Let
she's
it keep
balling.
going.
Like, Jonathan's
Let it
over there
keep
being a
fucking
little
going.
Bitch, like, but I mean, Jonathan's always a little bitch.
Well, see, I feel like
They're like, turn it off. You can't take it. She's like, no. Turns it all the way up.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like
she-
because she understands.
Well, she understands
Idiot
that
has to come
if
out
it
there and he's
doesn't happen,
dying.
he's dead.
Yeah,
Well, she knows that Will would be like, either keep doing this or just let me fucking die. Because either way, like, this shit needs to happen. I'm the least important thing right now. And I feel like that's the big thing with Joyce in this season is that you see her, like, recognize that and be like, all right, I might lose my son. But, right now it kind of
Yeah.
is
Because the whole
for
season you
betterment.
see her being like skittish around him, not wanting him to leave, etc. And then she finally steps up.
Kind of like two sides of the same coin with Hopper. Because, like, Hopper treats, like, who's already lost his kid as, like clutches on and, like, won't let go. And he's like, I'm a poison and everybody around me. And it's like, no, you're just afraid. And then Joyce does the same thing, but she does it and it's like not necessarily keeping Will sequestered away, but just, like, constantly being frantic. Like, she's always afraid and always worried.
Even Halloween night, she's like, don't let him go alone. Your brother's going with you.
Mhm.
And even though they make like an agreement, because his brother's like, man, I know it's lame. Go
I
spend time with your
understand.
friends, buddy. I'm gonna go to this party.
that I don't really want to be at, but my girl
It's
Nancy
fair.
wants me there. Best friends for life, not.
Bitching.
So then we go back to the kids who are out there. They're like, we gotta help them. We gotta distract them so the demo dogs don't come up on 11 while she's trying to use all her powers to stop this bitch.
I love that part. Because Steve's just like, no.
Dude,
No.
He said,
No.
we are bench players.
bitch players.
Mike's
On the
not.
bench.
This is not a sport.
He's hitting them
Sports
with all
game.
He's hitting them with all
Bro.
these sport metaphors, and they're like, this is not a
You do
sport.
realize we're all nerds, right?
It's not a sports game.
We were playing D&D before this. What are you talking about?
But then fucking Max like, oh shit, my brother's coming, and then it
Dude.
cuts, and he's just standing outside, just
I
eyeballing
was
him
waiting
fucking
for that
down.
warrior. I'm out to
You ain't gotta wait for Steve Harrington. Steve Harrington will meet you.
Bruh. So him and
Steve Harrington will be there 5 minutes early.
Bruh, they came at it, man. That shit was awesome. Steven and him are fighting, and he does.
Steve got
Well,
his
let's be fair.
no.
Steve and him are fighting, and I use air quotes, for about 3 punches. Then it's Steve getting massacred.
Steve gets hit with a plate and then ground
Steve
and
gets-
pounded.
That really happened too. That really happened. Like that plate fucked up that actor. Like it cut his head and shit because it was supposed to be a stunt plate and it was
A stunt plate.
like an easy break one where he just like made out of sugar and shit and it just shatters. And he's like, apparently it just hit the fucking wrong plane and it just did wrong and it just like knocked that motherfucker out.
Damn.
And he's just like, but we just kept
Hey,
going.
bro, that's how you do it, man. You
So,
gotta be like Leonardo DiCaprio, bro, when he slams the glass in that movie.
This is real blood.
That was when I found
gently
that out, I was
caressed
like,
David's face.
I can't believe that he did that to a person.
One, I can believe that he did that to a person. I can't believe a person let him do that to them.
Was that Kerry
It's fucking
Washington?
Leonardo.
Yeah, it was Kerry Washington.
She did.
She probably spoke to him after that.
She was
It's
like,
like, if you ever rub your fucking bloody
"Never
hand on my
again."
face again, I'm gonna fucking hurt
You
you.
better not have HIV, motherfucker.
I doubt she said that, but she probably was like, you better hope we win a fucking award or your ass is grabbed.
Yeah, so he shows up, and I disagree though. First off, Billy takes a fucking cheap shot right off the bat.
Fair.
Billy's whole fighting thing was a cheap shot.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that he didn't cheat.
No, no, no.
Because he comes
Steve-
back and Steve starts fucking him up, bro. It's like, bah, bah, bitch, bah. And then he motherfucking pulls the plate out and knocks him the fuck out.
Well,
Come on.
I mean, let's be fair. Steve's hitting him, but Billy's literally standing there
he's
laughing
like-
at him while
he's
he's,
like-
That's
hitting
true.
him.
Which
He's like
was
that one kid.
fantastic.
He's like that one kid from It, that little psychopath. Like,
Little fucking knife boy.
yeah.
Yeah, which
He's
it was
just
fantastic.
literally,
He was just
like,
"Ah."
Steve is fucking him up, and he's eating him. He's loving that shit, and then he beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
in
He
front
does.
of all the kids, and then Max sedates him with a needle,
hits
I mean,
with
she
the
stabs
needle.
him in the throat, if that's what you're
and
talking
then
about.
she threatens him. Says, "Leave me and my fucking friends alone, or
I'm
beat
gonna
your dick
crush
off
your
with a
balls.
bat."
Yeah.
Say it.
Shit.
I love that part.
So they get in the car. They roll off to go get to distract the demodogs. And I love how Steve wakes up and goes, "Where we
What's
going?"
going
Yeah,
on?
he's all fucked up. Yo.
Max is driving. He's like, "Ah!"
It's like, bro. Oh, that shit was so good, yo. They do their thing. They get the demodogs distracted. 11 does her thing. Closes the gate. uses her
That is a
fucking crazy
powerful
super-
fucking scene.
Yeah.
She's fucking floating and shit.
Hell yeah.
That is the part. That's the part I was talking about earlier where I was like, I thought she was going to like use the power of love. And it's like, no, it's still just anger and she's pissed the fuck off and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
going to do it.
She-
And I like it better now.
Yeah, she takes that, or she closes, I guess closes the gate. I mean, we don't really see exactly, I guess, how she closes. It just happens. She closes the gate, uses her power, but she's floating.
Well, she opened the gate.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you don't see, like, a real representation.
It gets physically smaller.
Does it?
Yeah, it closes.
Cause like the mind flayer's literally on the other side of it, like full size, and you can see it like closing in front of him and him trying to like shove his fucking hands at it and open it back up and stuff.
Okay, well,
While Hopper's
Very
like,
powerful scene, actually.
yeah,
Hell
he's
yeah.
going fucking hard with the shotgun around her and it's like going out and it's like, I've been around like a singular gunshot and it was just a handgun. And so now like every time I watch movies and stuff, I'm like, this is fucking fake. It's not what a gun sounds like. And I was watching that one and it just kind of clicked with me. It's like, oh, she just can't hear it. And it's a fucking shotgun. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, this shit's a lot
she's
more
focused
hectic.
on a lot
Yeah.
of other things.
Yeah.
It's like, this is hardcore.
and then obviously we get to the scene we were talking about with Dart and Dustin at this point, too. Dustin almost gets fucked up.
I did
but
like that. Scene.
Dart happened
I
to be
thought
the
that
one
was
that was
good.
right there, and he was like, here's a nougat, man. Please don't kill me.
I genuinely feel like that single part right that makes up for him like grabbing him out of the trash and shit and like just being an annoying little kid in general. It's like, okay, you saved everybody.
I handed out a bunch of pamphlets.
Yeah. Pamphlets? Where did pamphlets come from?
What a weird reference.
I don't know why I'm saying that. Shut
What?
up.
Jared, explain it to me.
It's a reference to the new Thor movie we went and saw.
Oh,
last
fuck
night.
you guys, man.
Shit.
I
It's
haven't even
not a spoiler.
stop talking about
It's not
shit.
a
When you
spoiler.
see it, let's do this again. 'cause
You know-
that movie was wonderful.
I'll sit down on that one. I've been on the last 3, including this one.
So the day is saved. Everyone comes out alive, minus Bob.
And Muse.
Oh, and Muse.
Real
Let's
hero.
let's talk about that fucking part. I want to specifically talk about Dustin and that fucking cat and how he's just like, oh, what's that? Mr. Kraboykin, you saw her? Oh, that's so great. Thank you, Mr.
And
Tile.
then his mom's like, "Where's
Mom.
the cat?" And he's like, "Mom, you can leave. Go look for him.
You know
I'll
what,
stay
Mom?
here.
I
It's
believe
okay."
in you. You'll find him. It's gonna be
Dustin is
fine.
so
Oh
good,
man, that
And
is
it's just like that's stone
that is
cold,
stone
kid.
cold. He's like,
That's fucking
Damn,
savage.
you heartless.
I think he bought her.
He
a new
definitely
cat.
got his mom a new cat.
Yeah.
I don't think he told his mom what happened.
No, I don't think so. Well, obviously, he wasn't like, yeah, my demi dog.
And she'd be like,
Well, I
Well, I mean, he
understandable.
might have just said like, you know, I found the cat eventually. It was dead, like in
Eaten.
the cellar or some shit. You're like, yeah.
Yeah. So we come back. The last scene here. It's a month later, I think. They're having the snowball, which they kept bringing that up. I didn't.
It's the last season because I had to,
The last season?
my girlfriend had to explain it to me because I completely forgot.
Yeah, I was like-
but when Mike last sees 11 in last season, he's like, maybe we can go to the snowball. And she's like, yeah, we can go to the snowball.
Okay.
And then that's why like Hopper's like, I need one specific fucking night. It's very fucking important.
So Hopper's meeting with the doctor who's got him a birth certificate and everything for 11. So
a
she
new
can beat
identity,
out.
yeah.
But he's like, whatever. Don't go out maybe this first year, except for that one night, the snowball. We have the snowball. Fucking
Our duo's back.
our duo's back. Dustin's here.
He's got his
the
secret fucking
perm or
weapon, man. Farrah Fawcett hairspray.
Look
And his hair is looking gorgeous, by
His
the way.
hair is
Definitely.
looking, his hair is looking moist but good.
It probably added a foot to his height.
It did. That shit was tall.
he comes, so he's got the confidence of
Boy.
fucking Mick
Oh,
Jagger,
he's ready,
bro.
man.
He's
He is
ready
ready.
to roll.
But
Lady
them girls, those girls are rude.
Yeah,
They're
those
mean.
girls are-
And he dances
Really?
with
Nancy saves the
Nancy,
day.
yo.
Nancy,
It
Nancy,
makes- it makes
sees,
the other
Nancy
girls
knows what's
jealous.
Nancy
up.
said those girls are stuck up bitches. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
They don't
like,
see
dude,
they don't see the
fucking
amount of
dumb, but,
swag
like,
you're
they're gonna
bringing
watch
right
this.
now.
But Nancy, I love that too, because when I was kind of sad, man. I was like, oh, please don't tell me Dustin ain't gonna get nobody here.
Oh, fucking dude, they were talking about it. Like, they were filming that, and he was like, the director, one of the brothers was there, and he was like, yeah, and I looked at the camera guy, and he was fucking, like, crying. And Dustin was like, oh, man, I didn't mean to make that guy cry. And he's like, no, that's the point, buddy. You're supposed to be sad.
So we got that. We got Lucas and Max hooking up, getting their little kiss on.
Yes, sir.
We got 11 showing up with Mike and getting their little kiss on, yo.
Oh, apparently in the show, if you watch it, you could see Mike, like, moving
Whistling,
his
"I'm coming
lips. He's like,
in."
I'm coming in.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he like ventriloquist it.
Oh, those
Coming
kids,
in.
those kids talk a lot about how they fucking hated doing those kisses. Like, they fucking despised it.
I don't know. When
Hey, no,
was
I mean,
small-
the black kid that played Lucas, he was like, I was all about it. But then the girl was just like, no, I
They
don't wanna do
they
this.
talked about
I
that
fucking
too.
hate
They were
this.
like Lucas. They were like the actor,
And they had to do it like
couldn't
8
stop
fucking
smiling.
times. Yeah, they had to do it like 8 times, and every time is because like they're spinning around the kids with a steady cam and holding it. And it's like they're trying to get the reaction to both kids doing the kiss. So it's like, do a kiss. All right, we got your reaction. Do a kiss. Oh, fuck, we missed your reaction. We got to do it again.
So do that. Is there anything else here at this last little bit?
It just,
Round it off with how great it was.
At the very end, it just shows that the in the Upside Down
The Mind Flayer.
The Mind
Mind
Flayer.
Player is still there, and he's
That
going to
was-
be coming back for season 3 for sure.
That was a solid fucking setup. That is how you end the season of a
like,
show.
oh, and by the
that was a
way-
good ending.
Well,
It's
they-
like,
he can only be defeated by an undead army.
exactly.
I love how they're like,
'cause
so
Mind
what,
Flayer
how
likes-
do you beat
We need zombies, and everybody's like, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they don't have brains, and he
they
likes.
don't have
It's just a
brains.
game.
I want
It's
to
just
play
a game.
Dungeons
I'm
and
sorry.
Dragons so bad, man.
I've played Dungeons and Dragons. It's 4 hours of a lot.
Okay, I've heard it's way more.
Like, yeah, you have to play like a long. Yeah, that was a simple game. Like, that was just me flying out to meet my friend where she was living, and she had a group that she regularly met with. And I was like, can I just like sit in and play one? She's like, yeah, we'll just set up like one game for you to play with us. And I was like, rad. And it was like, I felt really awkward. And because I was like, I don't know
I'm
any of you
here.
people. And it's like, we're doing this just for me. Like, everybody had to get their
you know
schedule
who has
set.
done? Jordan Mosley said he's done it.
I mean, it's fun to play. It's just, it's long.
We just got to find a dungeon master.
That's the problem.
And yeah, you have to have someone who
It's a
knows
bit
what the
good.
fuck they're doing.
We need a dungeon master.
Or just go to fucking Barnes and Noble and get one of those like little box kits.
Yeah.
Like, it teaches you everything, and there's
They,
simple.
I'm not
they're,
gonna
putting a
be
lot
a
of the
dungeon
stuff online too. They got like websites dedicated to it.
That's another thing. Yeah, just get one of the stories and make up your own shit. Get a bag of dice.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Whatever. Again, if you did enjoy it, share it because we need more people listening and shit. And we love you, except for him.
I love you guys.
Tyler does
Oh,
not.
Tyler
love you.
now
He
likes
hates you.
I just
Jared's
fucking said
neutral,
it.
and David,
I love all.
he loves all.
I love everybody too.
We'll see you next time, and peace out.
Bye bye.
Anyways, welcome back to the Brothers Woods podcast. Fuck you, Jared.
Welcome.
Only do that one more time.
Yeah.
Can I get another?
'cause I'm
can I get
here?
another take?
Welcome back.
Why?
Why are you doing it that way? Why are you doing it like that?
Shut up, goddammit. All right.
Oh, well, welcome back.
Is this the Price is Right?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Brothers Woods podcast. Fuck you guys,
Here he goes.
goddammit.
I'm not doing anything.
Literally, no one did anything
All right.
that time. This is you. Don't look at him. Don't look at him.
I believe in
You
you.
got this.